Michael Corleone, they pull me back in. I have to come back here every so often. The only reason I like coming back here is for friends and family. That's it. Nothing else. If I want the smell of weed, I'll light up some weed. If I want the smell of urine in a vestibule,
you'll have a drink.
In case you didn't know, my guest this evening is Jim Norton. Jimmy, hi, how are you?
Oh, I'm good. I've been doing so good not eating bad, and I come here and I just start fat pig snacking on the peanut M&Ms and all the treats.
Oh, I bet it's just here.
Oh, I've been good. Don't get me started.
What a little woman you are as far as your little diet goes.
I know, a little woman with a fat stomach, a little lady with a fat belly.
Why don't you do Ozempic? I hear that's a big thing for celebs these days.
I don't, because I know how to lose weight. I know what to do, just not what I'm doing right there. Yeah. And Ozempic does weird stuff to you. Like
you knew what to do years ago to lose weight.
Yes, I certainly did. And then I understood.
Well, the audience might not have.
They got it.
They probably got it.
Yeah, of course they do. What else could I be doing that would help me lose weight? I wasn't exercising, and I'm a fruit. So yeah, Ozempic scares me because isn't there something in there that like messes your teeth up?
It's everything. It seems like your eyes, your teeth, your skin, like that. I think Rosie O'Donnell is on it.
Yeah, she lost a lot of weight,
and they show her in Ireland now because she ran away from Trump, and she looks. But people, I can understand if you are. It's like supplemental to losing weight naturally.
Right.
And you use Ozempic, maybe. I don't know. I think if you're really trying physically and diet-wise, but if you really are obese, which I think Rosie was,
yeah,
and you take Ozempic, it doesn't look good. You just drop so much weight. You got that hanging
gaunt
skin and gaunt look. You never want to be gaunt, do you?
And you want to lose it healthy because then as soon as you stop taking it, you become a fatso again, and that's what scares me.
How is Bob Kelly?
I mean, you know what? I'm not even there.
He actually looks good these days.
He looks great. He got the surgery, and he has
lobotomy.
He is as dumb as they come.
Yes.
But no, he got the surgery and he's lost like a ton of weight and he's keeping it off, which is good.
Yeah, that's the toughest thing because you look at somebody like, what's his name from Jersey? You know, the fat.
Chris Christie.
Christie. Thank you, Jimmy. Chris Christie had his stomach stapled. He did. Get your kitchen stapled. Right, Rich, we get it. He did that and he's still obese.
Yeah,
some people just can't continue and follow through with what they need to do when they have that surgery.
Which is exercise and eat. You got to eat right. You can't be a big fat. Everyone
wait. Are you saying they should go to the gym? Eat better?
I mean, it really is. I avoid those words in a row now because of the one time. You know, going to the gym, eating better.
Eating better.
Yeah.
Don't you know? Always after me, Lucky Charms.
They bombed the building I was in. Lucky I wasn't around. Sinn Féin bombed
I remember the Troubles.
Have a potato, would you? I've got tiny genitals.
Potatoes, wait, they got the eyes on you?
Hold on a second. Combs, don't slow me down.
Like the eyes? Private eyes, the potato eyes, they're watching you.
Nah, no good.
No.
I thought about bringing the wig tonight. I just decided.
Why don't you bring the beard?
I'm not a very good beard.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, if I could have picked a more convincing beard. I just don't want to be fat anymore. I got so mad. I saw myself the first time I was on here, I was sick. I was coughing and my voice was going. And I was bloated. So that really motivated me. Like, you pig, do something. Do something, you pig.
People gave you a lot of credit on that appearance that you were sick and still came in like a good pal.
Of course, I wanted this. Was fun. I was looking forward to this. But I'm happy I feel better. I got a special coming out in June, and so like I'm going to go out and do promo for it. And I'm like, I'm not going to show up on all these podcasts and just be a bloated, ugly pig.
Oh, yeah. You want to look good. People don't want to look at a bloated, ugly pig when they're watching a special.
No, they just don't. It's unpleasant.
Yeah. Where will it be available?
YouTube. I'm just putting it on YouTube.
Oh, YouTube.
Yeah. I mean,
that's what everyone does now.
Yeah.
There's no reason to have some other entity grabbing, just in there with their hand, grabbing your money.
That's a great way to look at it, and I should spin it that way. However, it was an utter lack of interest. I didn't try to sell it. I just couldn't go through that process again.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, people have been doing it here, so I would like my abysmal view count to really be visible so no one can be fooled anymore.
Don't even start with that nonsense. You have a show that is on every week?
Every Wednesday we release an episode.
Every Wednesday. Yeah. You release an episode, and everyone's enjoying the hell out of it.
Well, thank you.
I love it. I watch it. I saw your recent episode with Ryan Hamilton. And you guys hit on something that I just want to talk about. As you get older, there's this weird misconception. I don't even know if it's a misconception. You just think this because you're younger, now you're older. And you think that you're going to become another person once you get older. Someone that will not care about things you care about now, maybe care about different things. You're just not going to be the same person. And he was talking about looking at his parents and thinking, well, when I get their age, will I still think like I do now? And the unfortunate fact is we all do. And that's a little frightening because you kind of want to maybe have less enthusiasm for life as you approach the end of it.
Right.
And it doesn't happen.
No, I hope that I hope my parents, I would hate to think of my dad in his 80s still tweedling his nipples. I mean, that's just uncomfortable. I hope that there's certain things.
Chip off the old block, are you?
Yeah. But you do think that you're going to someday be sitting on this mountaintop of like, whew, like just calm and content.
Yeah.
And it never the contentment never comes. There's always one more thing. Do
you think it's contentment? You think you're just looking for something, or you're just existing and wanting to continue to exist?
I think that I always thought I'd be content at one point. Like I would always get to a point where like, okay, everything is where it should be, and now I can just enjoy. But it doesn't happen like that. Things are always out of place. There's always something falling through. I got to get to that point. You never get to the place. And I think that's what kind of makes you creative. You just keep going.
Yeah.
I know I'm talking to you like we've never met before. You know, I think where I get my ideas from. Shut up, Jim.
Joe Norton with us this evening. What's your name? But like growing up, you look at your parents like they knew something you didn't know, and they didn't act like you did. And the truth of the matter is they did, and they never stopped. Like I always had this impression that my parents, no matter how irresponsible I realized they were once I got older, I had this impression that they knew something I didn't know because I couldn't know it because I wasn't old enough yet and wise like they were. And then you realize, no, they were the same people they were probably at 18 for the most part. And I don't really know much about what my parents were like at that age, but looking at what they were like older, you could assume they were probably just the same. So it's a little frightening, I think. You always want to think you're going to get this wisdom that will make you content with getting older and meeting, facing the end. But, oh my God, we don't. We just plow right into it, the person we are.
No, I as far as facing the end, I mean, I'm already booking a ticket for Sweden. I can't wait to just sit in a capsule, look at my ticket counts.
You face your end at your wife.
Yes, I do. Grab my toes. You remember how Gunnery Sergeant Hartman would say? Wait, both of us drop it and grab our socks? No, just you. But yeah, your parents know, my parents, like, they both had kids. Like, you don't have kids, I don't have kids.
Right.
So there is something they probably had that we didn't like. It does, I'm sure, settle you on some level that I just never wanted to be settled. I just don't want it.
Tough thing, man, because not having kids, you feel like you don't deserve to tell people what your ideas are about raising kids or how kids should, the environments they should be in. Go ahead. What are you going to say about me?
Honestly, nothing. I was just thinking that I never
dating.
Oh no. I mean, sure, yeah, crib marks. No, I was like, oh sure, yeah. Hey, yoo-hoo. No, I was thinking, like, yeah, I don't ever think about how people raise their kids. Like, I really, like, unless they're being annoying, right? I never care. Like, I have no connection to it. Like, however they want to homeschool them, if they want to be religious with them, if they want to be liberal, I don't care.
That. Oh, see what happens? Yeah, I was driven to curse.
Did you curse?
Yeah. I said the F word.
I didn't even hear it.
Yeah, isn't that something? I think that's a first. First time I've done that here on this platform.
I heard there was a guy on the plane and the kid and crying.
I go, it wouldn't stop effing crying.
I didn't even catch it.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, okay.
Oh, interesting. And he was embarrassed. It was a young dad, and he was embarrassed, and he was like, he looked at me and he goes, I'm sorry. And I was like, no, I did care.
Yeah.
Like, it bothered me. I was, shut up.
Yeah.
But I was compelled to tell him, like, no, I don't care. It's okay. And I think we do that a lot, especially where kids are involved, because I don't know what that's like. That it's gotta be horrible. When I see a dad have to grab a kid and take him out of a restaurant, it's not even his kid.
Exactly, because the parents have gone to the bathroom. Right. And he's just deciding it's a perfect opportunity. Hey, the ring is one lad short.
It just seems like something that is so intrusive to a night out and just having fun. You got to worry that you're bothering everyone in the restaurant, and you got to drag a kid out of there. Not being a parent like that, well, I guess that's an asset. There's the other things where how many DMs and stuff do you get from people like, you're gonna die alone? I have no kid.
I get notes on the mirror from my wife.
Hopefully soon.
I did have an ex say that to me too.
Are you kidding?
I was probably like, she was like 20, I was 23 or something. Like, I was newly sober, and we were breaking up, and she's like, you're going to die alone. And I've remembered that for all those years.
Wow.
And she might be right. I mean, who knows?
Is it one that you've kept tabs on?
Oh, yeah, we're still friends.
How good she's doing?
Yeah, we're still friends.
Stop.
Yeah, we are. I'm friends with every ex but one.
I know. The fact that, is it the one I know? No, you're just talking about like real girlfriends, not one night stands or anything.
Oh yeah, no, I mean like relationships. Yeah, a lot of one night stands. I don't.
Yeah, you don't acknowledge that, but you are good at keeping a relationship with exes.
Yeah,
which I find insane. I can't understand that,
because I was the problem in most of the relationships.
Yeah. Now, all right.
What?
Jimmy, what? I would love to continue this conversation, and we will.
But we got to get you out of here.
They're telling us you have to go. No, in a matter of moments, we'll be back with the Anthony Cumia Show and Jim Norton. When I was in New York, when I lived here in this abominable state, I apologize to everybody that still has to live here, but Memorial Day was a huge thing. I used to go out with Keith the Cop on his boat, go down to Jones Beach and watch the air show, the Blue Angels and stuff. And it was really awesome. And New York is kind of cool during Memorial Day because the Navy and Marines and everyone come in. The prostitutes get some business.
Sure.
There's but the ships are out there on the Hudson, and military aircraft. They put on a good show on Memorial Day, but it's the day-to-day walking down the street thing. And again, people are just like, boomer. I was complaining on social media, Jimmy, about the smell of weed everywhere now.
Oh, I thought it was going to be the statue that they put up in Times Square.
Well, I may go there tomorrow and take some pictures and see if I can reenact 2014. No, it just seems I don't mind weed being legalized.
Right.
But it's like they legalized it, made it available to people, and then just allowed it to be smoked everywhere and anywhere. And it's like, look, booze is legal, but a lot of people, there are some exceptions, don't just walk down the streets drinking.
Yeah.
And the weed thing is just, it's out of hand.
I don't mind it. Like, I don't love it, but I don't care that much, because if I have to smell weed walking through or cigarettes, I'd probably prefer weed. Like, it's just not as bad of a smell to me as a cigarette.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what you prefer, because it's New York. I mean, you're preferring it over crap and piss in the vestibules.
Yeah, and that homeless smell.
I get that. But it's just one of those things where, again, you legalize something. Because for years, how many times do we hear, why don't we just legalize weed? The state can tax it, make money, and then they'll control it. And it won't be as crazy as when, the criminals are selling it to each other. And it just got worse. It's absolutely worse, because the good part of the government being in charge of selling weed, which is ridiculous, is that they thought it would do away with the illegal weed. People still buy pot from their friends and guy on the corner.
Or like these shops that are open that I guess are just kind of illegally operating.
Yeah, they'll sell weed. And now that it's been considered illegal, the problem is now they'll just smoke it anywhere and everywhere.
Yeah.
And do other drugs. You see people shooting up all the time in the subway stairwells and whatnot. I don't know. Again, I don't want to sound like I'm turning into that fuddy-duddy.
Yeah.
But I know this does, especially to younger people. It sounds like I'm turning into a fuddy-duddy. But, I mean, can we just have a little decorum on the streets of New York,
yeah,
Jimmy?
Why would a young person not want to hear this? I mean, they're smoking their drugs everywhere I'm walking.
Because all the young people listening to WABC radio, I really do. That's my demo.
WAB stands for Wow, a Boomer, and I can't say what the C is. But no, I don't care about the. I know what you mean, though, and it is crazy how much you smell it. But I still can't get used to like legalized pot stores. I'm not bothered by it, but I'm amazed by it. I'm walking down the street and I'm seeing a weed store operating. I never thought in my life I would see that.
Yeah, I'm not all that pissed off about that. But the government being in charge of those stores.
Yeah.
Do you see what Mayor Adams has done over the course of his tenure as mayor here in New York City? He's closed down the illegal stores. And then they crow about it like, look at this great thing we're doing. All they're doing, when the mob used to go out and blow up stores that wouldn't pay them?
Yeah.
What's the difference?
The difference is they're supposed to be taking all this tax money and then saving us money on, which we have not seen any savings, zero, except for the brand new Congestion pricing, which has really worked out nicely. So not only have they not saved us any money, they've added on another one. Yeah, that's what annoys me. It's like, if you're going to make it legal, I don't care if people smoke it. Smoke it all you want. But then save me some money on taxes. And they don't do that.
That was the lie that they were supposed to actually, it was supposed to come to fruition, that they would tax and the money would go back to you. You're making money.
Yeah.
The dirty drug addicts, marijuana addicts, they're the ones that are going to now pay your taxes. Yeah. And it never, ever works out that way.
By the way, I just thought of this. Do you know why you were nice to that guy on the plane with the kid?
Why?
Because he apologized. Sometimes that takes this, like, the annoyance is there.
It really was.
But if somebody
I felt bad for him at that point.
Yes, because he's like, hey, there's just an acknowledgement, like, hey, look, I know this sucks. And then you're like empathetic, like, yeah, it does, but he has to deal with it. It's like if someone cuts you off and they give you the wave, you're not as somebody apologizing. But if somebody's the baby is just acting up, and they don't apologize.
Yeah.
I'll typically put on the last mash and show them there are solutions to this problem. So shut that chicken up, piglet. Shut your clucking chicken up. I'm sick of it.
Yeah, if they apologize, I slowly take my finger off the trigger.
Yeah. Or they'll go, hey, look, I'm really sorry. And they'll go, do you need help? And I'll go, no. And they'll go, why are you clenching that pillow with both hands, leaning in?
When you're used to biting it.
That's very hurtful.
It is very hurtful.
But yeah, the apology is, I thought that's what it was. It's the fact that the guy acknowledged you were annoyed.
Yeah.
Or that, like, hey, man, I know that this. And I think all parents should, like, they should just kind of give, like, hey, sorry. And then people would not be half as annoyed.
Yeah.
Just knowing that they know that they're ruining my experience.
I think yeah. You know, you're a first class flyer, right?
Of course. I mean, come on. Of course.
And the fact that they've opened up first class to such just noisy children and people and well, you know, I don't like that. I want a nice flight. I paid for it.
I mean, and I might not be handling this well, but there's been times where I've seen a little kid in first, and I'll say to the parent, look, you have the right to fly here, but if that kid makes a sound, I'm going to bite it. I'm going to bite your child on its shoulder.
Chew its little ear off.
Yeah, I'm going to chew your kid's fingers off like a chimp.
We will absolutely, don't fret, be back. Anthony Cumia Show. Hillary Clinton puts out a tweet about what you should be doing on Memorial Day. Oh. Now, obviously, Memorial Day is a remembrance of the great Americans that gave their lives for this country in the many wars and other nonsense that went on over the course of the years. So Hillary had a great idea. She said, I'm giving you a mission. She's giving us a mission.
I think that's nice.
You think that's good, that Hillary is giving us a mission?
Do you mean Billary?
Billary. Oh, that's good. What about Hilly? That's like,
No, Hilly kind of works because it's Hillary.
Hilly. But that's like the last half of Bill.
How about this, Hinton?
Helium. Right. You could tune out whenever you want, people.
And no one would blame you. No one would blame you if you literally took the radio out of your car and threw it into a ditch.
If you're driving right now, that abutment looks mighty tasty.
It sure does. Yeah. Have a snack. Why don't you snack on that oak tree? Why don't you have a little nibble of that tree? Step on the gas and have a little bark flavored snack. No one will blame you.
It's Hillary says, I'm giving you a mission this Memorial Day weekend. If I want you to talk to two people, friends, neighbors, cookout attendees. Imagine thinking people that go to a barbecue are cookout attendees.
Cookout attendees.
This is how this woman maybe thinks. Cookout attendees. About why Trump's proposed budget would be a disaster to American kids.
Can you imagine being at a cookout and like someone's having a beer and they're having fun and you walked over and went, Trump's budget, what's it going to mean for the kids?
Yeah.
Somebody would take that like that. What's the thing? You flip the burger with a spatula and just touch your cheek with it. A nice hot spatula.
A penis.
You don't flip a burger with that.
You do.
No, I don't. That's what I used when I wanted to quit smoking.
She goes, I want you to talk to two people and about Trump's budget, disaster for American kids. We owe it to the next generation. And here's her notes.
Oh, good.
Here's what she says.
Great.
You should say. Like, hi, how you doing? The weather's great, isn't it? How are the hot dogs? Can I get you a beverage? Drastically cut health care. 15 million Americans, including millions of children, could lose access to Medicaid cuts and ACA marketplace changes. That's what she wants you. That's her mission to you.
I would say it, but I would do it with a different tone. I would say like, oh, the hot dogs are great, and the kids are going to lose Medicaid. I would say it like it was an upbeat, great thing.
See, she should have said that.
Spin it in a good way.
In a good way. Hey, everybody. Oh, my God. We're going to have a live DJ tonight for Memorial Day. Increase food security. Nearly 11 million people, including 4 million kids, could lose SNAP food assistance.
What's SNAP food assistance?
It's an acronym for stupid. All right. All right. I don't know what it's for.
Something aren't people.
And I'm not. And I will not speculate here on this AM radio. Yeah. Make families poorer. That's what Trump's going to do. It would kick 4.5 million American kids off of child tax credit and leave AI dangers unchecked. The bill would freeze state level. I don't know what it is. It's not artificial intelligence.
No.
For 10 years, stripping states of their ability to protect kids from. It doesn't matter. What she's saying here is ruin your Memorial Day weekend party by fulfilling Hillary's mission, which is, ruining the party.
Other barbecue, other cookout attendees. Imagine someone springing that on you while you're trying to have a burger.
Oh,
you're having a nice soda, chatting with someone you haven't talked to in a while, and some political dud sits down. Oh, Trump's plans. Shut up. Just shut up.
Ruins the weekend. You got a nice fresh burger, hot off the grill, a beer. You walk up to a guy, maybe you haven't seen him in a couple of, you start thinking about, talking about things that interest you, and a woman walks over and just goes, childhood cancer.
Right, everyone's laughing, so nobody's supposed to.
It's obviously a funny topic, but
yeah. By the way, I wouldn't want to hear any political stuff. I don't care.
Nothing.
At a barbecue,
either way.
I'm not interested.
It's a barbecue. You're supposed to be having fun. Only someone so out of touch,
removed, yeah,
and elitist and removed and just not. She doesn't know what it's like to be a real person.
Just a friend at a barbecue,
right?
Chatting.
And
neither do I. I have not been invited to any barbecues this year.
Oh, no.
I have no barbecue invitations, by the way.
That is not true.
So I'm in no position to call old Cavs McGillicuddy a dud because I have not been invited to a barbecue. Oh, I carry fridges up steps, Cavs. She's a calvy woman. That offensive lineman.
She does have some fat calves on
yeah.
her.
She's the Cankel's kid. She's a cankled ox.
That baking bread in the shoes thing is a great...
But I've not been invited anywhere, so I won't be at a barbecue.
I can't imagine. I know Bob Kelly. What is that, Thanksgiving? You go over there?
Thanksgiving, sure.
Over Bob's house. What about...
7 months removed.
Oh, you told me he's in, New
Hampshire. I think he's in New Hampshire, yeah.
Ugh.
He likes New Hampshire.
That whole little stick, that the northern
Maine,
part,
Vermont, yeah.
Vermont, New Hampshire, that whole should just be given to Canada for something we can use. An extension on Montana,
Or we'll
perhaps.
take Toronto.
I
would take Toronto.
Isn't that like all of Canada, quite frankly? I mean,
well, it's the best part of it. Or I'll take Vancouver.
It's most populous.
It is the most populous.
Vancouver.
Or even Montreal.
What are we getting? Hockey players from there? Vancouver? Or is that Edmonton? I
think that's Edmonton. I don't watch hockey.
Canada, I hate that Canada's a little mad at us, but I'm mad at them for not realizing that their country has just gone down the crapper for years now under Trudeau, and now they got this new guy. I know you're not very political, Jimmy.
I love Trudeau. I think he was tough as nails. He was tough. By that, I mean a lady's fingernails. Digging into the back of another man.
God only knows where those were going.
Yeah. Hey, you're tough as nails, but they smell. Oh, well. Should wash them. I know where they've been.
A few of those nails left in a body cavity. Perhaps. Yeah. I don't know. You know what I mean.
I sure do.
Of course. Yeah, I get a little I don't like how uppity, I'll use the word uppity, Canada's getting in bashing us because of Trump. Don't they have to realize that they wouldn't even be able to have a country if it wasn't for the United States?
I'm sure on some level they do. But I mean, he didn't make it easier when he's going, we want to make him the 51st state. I mean, that literally
that
that was
obnoxious.
I mean, like, what do I want? Greenland, and I'd like you to be state number 51. I mean, it is a bit antagonistic. Like, you can't, it's almost like if a big guy walks in and you're sitting there with your girl and he goes, hey, get her in my lap. I'd like to have her in my lap.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
It's like a guy in Goodfellas that you're looking at going, oh, he's gonna get beat up.
Yeah,
he shouldn't be saying this stuff.
That's kind of like what we were doing in Canada for like the 51st date was very antagonistic.
It was antagonistic,
sure.
But do you think Trump means everything he says verbatim and like gospel, or do you think a lot of the stuff he says, especially the outrageous stuff, is that he just wants to be that guy, the troll? And it works in a way where you're trying to negotiate at some point. You do things, you say things, and then later down the line, when you're nice, it seems like, oh, he's being really nice. But meanwhile, you're just not being that piece of garbage that you were being earlier.
I don't know. I honestly don't, like, because then he's like, give me Greenland. And then like he's sending JD Vance to Greenland, and they're like, hey, this is our place, whatever they sound like. I've never met a Greenlander. I think Greenland stinks. I don't want it. It's giant.
Apparently they sound like Amish
they
people.
All do.
In Europe.
Yeah. We don't know wherever that is. I don't know what he's doing with that stuff. Like, I don't know what's real and what's not. But that kind of went
away.
Yeah.
Like, he's not really talking about that. I think he just comes up with things to get people mad and talking and angry. I think he likes getting his opposition all wound up about stuff that means nothing. Imagine sitting in the Oval Office and you say these things, and then you're just watching what's coming in, and you gotta laugh. Like, they're believing this? I can't believe how stupid they are. It's gotta be fun for him. That's what he's a guy from New York that was in construction. You don't think he loves busting balls? I mean, it might be some of that, yeah. I just don't know. Like, I honestly don't know. I don't really care. I don't blame Canada for being a little pissed off at that. Like of all the things. I get it, but kind of take a joke.
Yeah.
And be like, come back. Did you ever meet Trump more than the phone calls we used to get on O&A?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I interviewed him for UFC. Me and Matt were in the room with him for 40 minutes.
That's right.
We went to Vegas, and I sat with him for 40 minutes. We talked. It was all fighting. There was no politics because it was a year ago, July. He wasn't the nominee yet.
Right. He didn't want to talk politics.
No, he would have.
Oh, he
would have. But
would've.
Dana said, like, look, man, this is the UFC. We're not, and I got it. He's like, this is a sports podcast.
Dana White?
Plato from Different Strokes. A skinny hand came out of a grave with a cell phone, and she said, "I want to hear about mixed martial arts." I don't know why she sounds like that.
See, that's what I thought.
But no, Dana's like, "Look, man, don't be crazy," because it's the UFC, and he's like, "I got it." He was right. Like, we talked all boxing.
That's his.
It's a sports podcast.
Screw it up, right?
And it was, and he also liked Trump a lot, and he wanted like another side of Trump to be shown, like, you know what I mean? Like, just like the personality without anything that people are just going to jump onto for no reason.
Right.
And he was great. Like, he was really, his memory was amazing. Like, people thought we had cue cards up for him because he was remembering so many fights, and he was big in the early UFC. So it was a great interview. He was great to everybody.
Were you nervous?
I was, but I also, Nikki came with me, and she said, she goes, you didn't seem nervous at all. And it was like when there's so much on the line.
Right.
That you just, you almost go full circle, and you're like, now I'm not nervous anymore because it's so big a deal.
Yeah.
Like, if it was like if it was JD Vance, I probably would have panicked and spilled coffee on myself because it's just that 1 inch less.
Yeah. The fact that it was more.
I was just like, it's almost like you're doing this and it's not real.
Did you want to say something about politics to him?
Well, I had like 6 pages of questions, but I would have just, the one thing
one question on each page?
Yes, one big question. How much does Air Force One weigh? That's some really dumb questions. Do you think Amy Klobuchar's joke is funny? No, one thing I wished I had told him, and I regretted this ever since, is I wanted to say to him, hey, I love that you spoke to Kim Jong-un. Stupid thing.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I love that he did it.
And he would have gone off 20 minutes on that alone.
Yes.
And it would have been really interesting.
I believe in talking to people we don't like.
Yes.
So I loved that he did that, and he didn't get any credit for it. Even though, look, Kim Jong-un did what he wanted. I still like that he did it. And that's the one thing I wish I had said to him was, like, I just forgot at the end. Because he was taking pictures with everybody. He was like, everybody's got pictures. Like, he was so great.
Jeffrey Epstein. Taking pictures with everyone.
Well, I mean, I'll be honest. I wasn't going to bring his up. All I need to do is start crying, just thinking about how that great soul is lost. R.I.P. Jeffy.
Do you, without even being political, I think looking at Trump and what he's done since he's become president, it's very different than any other president we've had.
Yep.
And everybody looks at these past presidents and goes, oh, why didn't they do this? Why didn't they do that? And I think a lot of people on the left, Democrats, will just not like anything he does.
Yeah,
that's obvious.
Sure.
But isn't it kind of cool to have a president that's doing things that is so out of line of the presidential thing you're supposed to do or that you've done over the course of years? I like that he wants to talk to Putin about Ukraine. And they're like, no, don't even talk to Putin until he capitulates. We're going to do it. It's like, you're not going to really try to stop a war until you actually have some rapport with this guy. Or obviously Israel, Gaza.
What's going on there?
Nothing as far as I have to say. I ain't getting myself in trouble.
I haven't heard.
If I say one thing, Sid's going to not let me do his show tomorrow. Super Jew Sid. He's amazing. No, it's one of these situations, though, where it's like, I like a president that is doing something completely different, because every American over the course of history has said, why can't we get a president that does this instead of this?
Sure.
Well, you got one. So let's just see how it plays out. Like it or not, it's only 4 years. He's not going to try to run again. He put out the 2028 hats, which, again, a great, funny gag. He's Trump. This is what he does. But he's leaving the presidency after 4 years. Yeah. And we have enough checks and balances in place where no president can really go too crazy. Let him do what he wants to do. See how it works.
Some of it I don't agree with, but I do like the idea of somebody who hates the other people in that city. Like, he really does hate people in Washington.
The Beltway.
I mean, he just he hates them, and he tapped into something. So there's
they hate him.
They certainly do. Yeah. There's a lot about him I like, and there's certain things he's doing that I just wish that he wouldn't do. But, I would have...
You want to elaborate on that a little bit?
I just don't like I don't think I think he's too anti-transgender, but I understand the pushback against liberals who are crazy. I don't disagree with that.
I don't mind transgenders marrying comics.
Me neither.
But, being in a foxhole in combat, do you see that as maybe a conflict? Like, because too many soldiers, I think soldiers have to be such alpha males, so crazy, so like, you're a killer, that I think it might not work to have transgender people in combat situations.
I don't agree, because I think that they use them in other countries like Israel, and I think they're allowing trans soldiers. And I don't think the image matters that much. I think with the weapons we have and the fact that most things are fired, I just don't think if someone can make it. Hey, come on. When I said foxhole, I didn't mean that one. No, I don't. I think that as a soldier, if you're in a place with a person and you're both going to be killed, I think you act like soldiers. I don't personally think that anybody who's capable, if you're qualified to do it, you should be able to do it. If you're willing to die for this country, I respect you. And that's how I feel about it. But if you're not, if you're an agenda-driven person and you can't do the job, they should boot you out.
But here's another question about that same topic. Do you think that the Democrats, and well, not so much Democrats, liberals, whatever you want to call the extremists on the left, have ruined it for a lot of people that would be qualified and would be allowed by some really not centrist stuff that's gone over the past 4 years. So that pushback has to be so drastic so that the other half of the country goes, good, yeah, we did that.
100%. That's, of course. 100. I'm a firm believer that a Republican president should
very firm from what I'm saying.
Yes, except in my middle and my bosoms, I'm a rather flabby believer. I think that a Republican president should only be able to nominate Democratic judges and vice versa.
Interesting.
So they have to find someone
who's more moderate,
who is much more towards the way they think, but not. That's how I see it, but it'll never happen.
You'd get more of a balance.
They're letting all these kooks run the it's crazy. I apologize. Yeah, that's how I see it, but
All right. Hey, it's the Anthony Cumia Show. We have Jim Norton here all night long, and we'll be back in moments.
Don't you like talking live? Podcasts are great, and I love doing them, but knowing that people are listening, it really is a different feeling.
So different. There's we were talking about this earlier, the idea of podcasting and that everybody got into it. And what finally made me go oh, geez, okay, this is what podcasting is. I saw a podcast kit in Best Buy. It was a single box. It had a camera, a microphone, and stuff. And you just,
where'd you see this?
Podcast in a box. Best Buy.
I may have to shoot over there and grab myself a kit.
And then you're just doing a podcast. To me, when you get to that point, podcasting really needs to pull the reins back. Back in the early 80s, I think it was very similar to the comedy thing.
Yeah.
Everyone was a stand-up comic. It's just, they were so many TV shows, Evening at the Improv and
Comedy on the Road with John
Comedy
Viner.
on the Road. MTV had comedy shows. All the networks had the Friday night comedy. And it got oversaturated and terrible. And you could still go into certain comedy clubs and look at the face shots on the wall and go, who the hell is that? And what could he possibly be doing now?
Where is that? I asked him. I did ask about one guy who I'd worked with years before. I'm like, where is he? And they're like, oh, he killed himself. I'm like, oh, God.
I was going to say, hopefully it was Rich Voss.
No, it was an Asian fella who I envied his conviction, though.
Did he do it the good way, Harry Carey? No. Right.
Why would he do it with an announcer for the Cubs? I know. I'm humiliated I said it. I'm embarrassed I thought it. I'm humiliated that I said it.
I didn't even fly my plane into that aircraft carrier. Now I got to take care of business.
Is that Harry Carey?
Yeah. There are just so many podcasts. And look, there's some really good ones. Yes. Obviously. I mean, I think the presidential election was obviously helped by podcasts.
Yeah.
When you have Trump going on Rogan's show.
He did Schultz, he did Theo. He did huge podcasts, yeah.
Yeah. And now it's hilarious because it always seems like the left is just a little behind what the trend is.
Yep.
And that really gets them because they're now complaining that podcasts and comedy is more right wing now. And that's an issue. That shouldn't be because what happened? It's hate. It's hate comedy now.
Do you know, here's I hate to break it to progressives because I really kind of need you in some ways to, because for my marriage to work. I don't want my wife to be forced to change her name to Hank. But I think that progressives have gotten so unbearable. Yes. I'm doing a bit now about trans girls in sports and all this stuff.
Right.
And it's pro-trans, but it's a funny bit. And I get this email from this trans man who tells me, I was devastated when I saw your... And I wasn't angry at the email, but I wrote back, I'm like, but you don't point out that I agree with this. I agree with that. I agree with...
Right.
It's like the one thing you don't see 100% eye to eye with. You get the scolding about, what do you want comics to do? Any comic that bends into that is not going to be funny at this point. So yes,
it's got to be funny if you're a comic.
Yes.
And sometimes even the comedian isn't agreeing with what he's saying. He just has to be funny. But if you're putting something out there, like I guess it was Dave Chappelle got so much crap for that trans bit he did. And the bit was literally him talking about how he adored this trans woman and had a great relationship. And they used that against him.
It's crazy. Like, I record every interview I do now. Like, when I do, like, press.
When you want to go to sleep, do you play them?
Yes, I do. Because they're boring.
I would love for you to take that and run with it. But again, Jimmy, it's goddamn broadcast radio.
No, it's, we have to,
we have to take a break.
What was I saying? Oh, Chappelle, remind me.
Yes, I will. Dave Chappelle. We will be back in seconds. Don't go anywhere. Anthony Cumia with Jim Norton.
Oh, the Chappelle thing. It was almost like I did an interview with some, like a local paper a year ago, maybe, on the West Coast. And I record all my interviews now because they've misquoted me so many times.
Good.
There's been so many things they've got. And he asked about Chappelle. And I'm like, I don't agree with everything, but I like Dave. I think he's a great comic. And he should say what he wants. Like, that's my view. I don't care. And the guy printed something about how I was like really angry with Dave Chappelle.
See what they do?
It was the polar opposite. So I called the guy and I gave him the benefit of the doubt. I'm like, hey man, your editor might have made a mistake.
Oh, that's a good tactic.
But I'm not mad. I'm like, but I do record the interviews. So I'm saying, if you tell your editor like that, like I have the actual audio and I didn't say that at all, I'm not mad at Dave.
But the piece is out already.
It was online. They just bring it down and edit.
Oh, okay.
They edited it and he did. He fixed it. But I mean, you got to record when you're being interviewed. Just record yourself because they literally clickbait and it's like, that's not what I meant. So I'm careful with how I judge other people now because so many times they've gotten what I said wrong. I'm like, I try not to believe almost anything.
Absolutely. Yeah, there didn't used to really be the technology to do that for many years. Not like you used to have to bring a big reel-to-reel in. Well, I'll set this up while you do the interview. But it almost seemed clandestine. Like, oh, I got to put a bug on me to make sure this guy isn't like you're just trying not to get screwed over by an interviewer, and you have to feel like you're doing something against the rules.
Yes, I always bring them into the bathroom, and I'll just have them talk into the toilet cam.
I've never thought of that. That's
like, why do you want me to look into the tank? I'm like, just do it. Trust me, it's
a good one.
Better audio in here. Yeah, but I record everything for that reason. I don't believe that anybody won't screw you over.
They always will.
They always do. So I'm happy. I was so happy I had that.
Yeah, and the thing being, of course, someone's going to think, well, Dave Chappelle has had his share of issues with the trans community and. If Jim Norton is talking about him and he's mad and Jim's wife is trans, then, we got a great story here.
Yeah.
And that to me seems, clickbaity.
Yeah, I could care less with Dave. Dave's doing what he should do. He's a comic. Your job is to be funny and express your opinion. That's it. That's your only obligation. Your obligation isn't to stick up for anybody. It's not to be right. It's not to be wrong. It's just to be funny and to be as truthful as you can.
Have you noticed a lot of people, like fans, being negative with you over?
It's a little bit,
Mary
but
and
not.
Nikki?
Nah, I don't. I mean, I think they know I don't care, and I've talked about it for so long. And some of them are like, I didn't know, and it's like, well, then you haven't paid attention for 20 years. What do you want me to tell you, stupid? What do you want me to tell you? I mean, the tap dancing under the porch. My special was called Mouthful of Shame. What do you want me to tell you?
Think that is broccoli?
Yeah, exactly. No, it's the same color as cauliflower. But I mean, no, I don't. But they've been surprisingly better than people would have thought. I don't think they care.
It's because I've been looked at over the course of the years as a piece of garbage.
Sure you have.
Just utter and complete
garbage. Well, the sign says that you have to be accompanying a minor if you're on the playground. And there you are lollygagging.
With my camera around my neck. Yes, of course. No, But obviously, I don't think a lot of people realize I am whatever makes people happy. I'm fine with it. Just don't screw with me. It seems like a very, right. Really, that old gag. But it is that old gag. It's like, I don't care as long as it doesn't interfere with it. Don't step on my toes.
Yeah, do what you want to do. Right? Live how you want as long as it doesn't affect how I live. Yeah, that's fair.
Feet, you came here, you told me you want to get back in business. You weren't going to step on anyone's toes. Jesus Christ.
Best yeller ever, by the way. Robert, oh my God, Robert Loggia. Best yeller ever.
And I talk about, I bashed him in the face.
I'm telling you now. Just so unreasonable.
When Paulie went into his little bread shop to talk about the lawnmower guy, and he's like, hey, sit down, you want some bread? And it's all nice. By the end of it, he's yelling.
No one ever acting has been able to go from 0 to 200 as fast as Robert Loggia. No one has been able to get to that level there's no ramp up to it.
And then you watch him doing the foot piano in Big with Tom Hanks. And you're like, that's the same guy. I guess that's good acting.
He hasn't gotten a base hit all year. I should kill him.
What are you talking about? A toy that turns into a building? It's stupid.
I mean, he's the greatest. He's dead now, but the best yeller.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, was he funny? Feech Lamana,
Feech. Johnny Sack was good at that, too.
I mean,
he would go
incredible.
Like, what are you talking about here, Tony? What am I supposed to? What are we, the UN now? And you're like, oh, he's building up. He's going to get pissed.
My favorite moment is when he says to Carmine, so you're talking about Ginny and you could, whatever, for $1 million. And he goes, Ralph wants Ginny?
Yes.
Stupid Carmine.
Stupid.
Didn't catch it. He was just using an example.
Yeah.
I'm sure you know this, but you know that he was the guy from the Green Book.
The Green Book, yes.
The driver?
Yeah, the driver.
The guy in that movie, that was a true story, and he went on to be Carmine in The Sopranos in real life. That's who that is.
He was the real guy.
Carmine in The Sopranos was the guy, the driver in the Green Book.
Right.
Was Carmine from The Sopranos.
But not the movie. He was the real driver.
The real driver, went on to be...
That's crazy.
Yeah. He was a true... That made me like that movie more, because I thought it was such Hollywood schmaltz.
Yeah.
Oh, someone learned a lesson, did they?
Oh, yuck. I hate learning lessons.
Of course, I hate it, too. Unless the lady's putting on a special belt to teach me about...
Teach you a little lesson.
Yeah, then I like learning. Are you learning your lesson?
Oh,
but I like that movie more when I learned that. I was like, all right, it was okay.
So many of those guys were, in the life, in one way or another. Back then, I don't know. So much has changed. Is that even a thing now? If you want to make a movie, do you get someone aside from those guys? Do you get a new guy that was actually a criminal in organized crime and put him in a movie?
Probably as a consultant. You probably want them as a consultant.
Yeah.
Like if you're going to make a movie about a guy who kills a lot of... Like Sammy the Bull would probably be a good consultant because he could tell you how guys really talk. Or no, that's not how it happened. When you smell a writer's room... Like Voss had recommended the Godfather of Harlem with a Forrest Whitaker, who is great. No, is it Forrest Whitaker? Forrest Whitaker.
With the wacky eye. Forrest Whitaker. He's the big black guy. With he was kooky, he's got a little wacky eye.
I didn't even notice that. Okay.
How do you not notice that?
It's
so obvious.
Does he have a crazy eye?
It's like it's like a Popeye eye.
Oh my gosh! I can't believe it.
Okay, let's do. You do some Popeye.
I'm going to Pop's Guys Fried Chickskin. I'm the King of Scotland.
That's good.
Oh, I got some gas. Hit me with the 2x4s. Oh, hold on. I was in Fast Times. I wish Olives had a bigger butt. I was in Fast Times at Ridgemont High. At Ridgemont's Highs.
Guy who can't improv back but is trying anyway.
I was in Stars Wars. He was.
I was talking to my wife one time, and she didn't know Popeye's name, and she thought he was called Skippy the Captain.
Wait, what?
That
doesn't even...
It translates to Norwegian somehow, and she's like,
I keep forgetting she's
Skippy
from Norway.
The Captain? I'm like, who are you talking about?
Skippy the Captain.
It really made me very angry.
It sounds like something she'd call you. Skippy the Captain, climb aboard.
And she would say swab the deck, but she would say it a little different. I can't. So anyway, I'm watching this show, and I'm only in episode 1. And it's already annoying. I don't hate it. Like if Vincent D'Onofrio's in it, I don't love it. I just feel like it's kind of writer's room-ish. And I just like whenever you can smell a writer's room on it, like, I just tend to not like it.
Now, did you? How far into it are you?
I'm literally in the first episode.
Oh, that's interesting.
And he just met Malcolm X, and I just like and there's just certain things you can tell they're doing because they seem like cool things to do in a show.
Yes, a lot of these shows, though, these series, they'll put out one season at least. They'll try to put out one good season to hook you, and then it's just garbage.
Yeah.
They give up. I think they get good writers for the first season, and then they just go, we're going to pay good writers. Now we'll just get garbage in and try to keep it going. I honestly believe that because these series fall apart after one season now.
Or they literally are a one season idea. Like that just doesn't have sustainability, or they just use all their great ideas. Like here's a good example. What's the one where they're in the office and you're not sure where they are?
Sirius XM.
Yeah, we're not going to renew. All right, good stuff.
All right, good. We'll cut my pay.
Severance. It was Severance was the show.
Yeah.
And it's interesting. Season 1 is good, and then season 2 they're trying to. It feels like they're just trying too hard to be like to take you in all these crazy directions, and it just I don't know. It just lost me. Like season 2 stinks.
I don't like it. It happens all the time. It used to take quite a while. Like remember Lost.
Yes.
Lost was a huge show. Everyone watched it, loved it, and you talked about it. People had parties over their house to watch it. And then, it fell apart, obviously, but we didn't care
at the end,
that it fell apart at the end. We were invested. Now it doesn't take that many seasons.
You mean when Ben was driving the island? Is that when it fell apart? When Ben was like, turning the island like it was a ship?
Right.
Like the skipper. Hey, little buddy, I'm going to turn the island. Shut up, Ben.
It got so ridiculous.
It got stupid, yeah.
And people were you were just invested in it. You had to keep going. Like a bad stock.
Yeah.
You're just not going to sell it.
You hang on.
Yep. And, that was it. And then with the big finale, the water cooler talk the next day was, wow, that really sucked.
Because they blew it. They could have made it great. But still, see, what was a great season 2? A lot of people didn't like The Wire season 2, but I loved it. I get why they didn't.
Oh, right. The docks and the
ship. They went to the ships.
Yes.
Sopranos had a great season 2, but Severance season 2 stinks. Squid Game season 2 was okay. It didn't stink.
Yeah,
but it was not amazing. It was decent.
Cliffhanger too, so we got to see 3.
I know. I was like, come on, you should have made a complete season.
I know. They're trying to rope everyone in. That's what they do.
Yeah, it's already been filmed. So I think they just filmed 2 and 3 together.
Really?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, my God. Hey, we'll be right back in moments because we have to take another break, Jimmy.
Yeah, we got to sell
Can you stay around? Can you stick around?
Yeah, let's play the advertisers,
we got to pay the bills. Keep the lights on.
I couldn't think of what to say.
Shut it.
I will.
Shut it.
Yep.
Be back in moments. Oh, it's Labor Day. What happened? How does that work? Oh, my God. You know what's great about living in South Carolina? Fireworks. For years, like as a kid, here's what me and Jimmy were earlier talking about, how when you grow up and then you grow older, you're still the kid. You're still the kid you always were. And you think you're going to be different. You think you're going to get older and have these different ideas, but you're still the kid that you always were. So moving to South Carolina, and knowing that summer's coming up and 4th of July's coming up and seeing fireworks stores.
Yeah.
It does. I don't care if you are a man, which I aspire to be someday.
Sure.
If you're a man, you look at that and go, oh, yeah, I am buying fireworks, and I am going to buy a huge amount of fireworks and set them off on the 4th of July, because that is something I don't think ever really goes away in a guy.
I know you love it, and I know that a lot of, but as fireworks, I would rather watch a quadriplegic paint with his teeth than watch fireworks.
Well, most people that set them off end up that way. So they're not mutually exclusive.
Dude, I can't stand them.
Why do you not like fireworks?
I've never enjoyed them. If there's a firework,
now watching a display, if you're watching the
nice.
Macy's
Sure.
or the what is that? The
4th of July
Italians
one.
out there on Long Island. The Grucci.
I don't know what that is.
Grucci firework. They're the ones that do the big July thing on the Brooklyn Bridge and whatnot.
Okay, sure.
So you got a great vantage point in New York City. I'm sure you would go out there and watch them.
I have.
But you don't like setting them off?
Or even, I watch them just because I'm right there. And I'm like, all right, cool. I don't have to do anything to watch it. But I just don't care about them at all.
Even as a kid, there was no thrill of lighting an M80.
No,
throwing it, hoping your hand didn't blow off.
No, and that's why I didn't like them, because I was a bit of a cautious boy.
Oh yeah, with your chronic alcoholism at 15.
Yeah, I mean, look,
you're really taking care of yourself.
There were problems. I'm the devil. Yeah, little douche
with a knife in your hand, walking down the street,
hoping the police would shoot me.
Of course. So did everyone else that you knew.
And it would have been right. It would have saved a lot of half-sold rooms from being bored. No, I never liked them, though. Like, I just never cared about them. We fired bottle rockets at cars and stuff, but
that's good.
I never cared about fireworks.
Yeah.
But I get why people like it, though. I mean, I get it.
It's in South Carolina, they sell, like, you can set off the fireworks that you see in displays.
Right.
And last year, because I've been blessed with jobs over the course of the years that have given me some disposable income where I could go to fireworks places and buy insane fireworks.
How much are they?
Last year I did that. It all depends. I mean, you could buy stuff that's $10 and then you could buy hundreds of dollars worth. I bought stuff that like aerial bombs. They launch M80s up and explode. It's very loud.
Yeah.
I like the loud ones. I don't like in New York.
That's ironic.
Because yes. In New York, you get like even in California, they were safe and sane fireworks they sold when I was a kid.
Yeah,
and it was these little sparklers.
Yeah.
And you like that. I called them another type of word. It started with an F.
Yep, I know what
with
they
a
were.
G.
Sure they were.
Yes, one letter in between.
I totally.
Can you please get what I'm talking about?
If the sparkler was an architect in a 1960s sitcom.
Exactly. Yeah. So it bothered me. It's like, wow, they're legally selling fireworks. And my dad would be all like, we're buying fireworks. And it said safe and sane. I'm like, that doesn't sound fun.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
And it was all quiet and sparkly. So South Carolina buying these really big, loud fireworks. I think last 4th of July was my first 4th of July I spent in South Carolina. And I think I spent $1,000 on fireworks.
I mean, that's not even as crazy as I would have thought. That's a lot.
It was a lot.
It's just you and Missy, or do you have people over?
No one over. My cat.
Do you know how to cook on the grill?
It comes with having male genitalia, doesn't it?
I wouldn't know. I mean, believe me, I got it. Trust me.
No, I can.
I can't
cook
do
on
it.
A grill.
We have an egg. Do we have a nice egg grill? A beautiful egg grill which I got.
A Weber.
Not a Weber. No, this is like a real big. It's not porcelain, but it's a big. It's an excellent grill. I got it from a buddy of mine. Oh. And I don't know how to use it. It sat there for a year. Oh. My Weber sat there for a year till I threw it out because this one came and I can't use it.
Why? It's the same thing as cooking on a.
I can't do that either.
Anything. You can't cook at all.
I can't. So I want to.
How's Nikki? Can she cook on the?
She
on the
cooks
grill?
okay. Yeah. Oh, she cooks good fish and stuff like that.
Yeah.
She doesn't like cooking chicken.
Who doesn't
she likes
like cooking
Norwegian
chicken?
slop? Big heavy.
Like fish, right?
No, like
She don't
bacon, like giant thick bacon with like weird grease on it. It's hideous. It's hideous.
That is weird grease on it.
Yeah. Hey,
Is that what you call it?
Yeah. What are you doing? I'm throwing that on my back. What am I supposed to do with that? Come on, burns.
Weird Greek. Because that's yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway,
Sure.
Wow, that's I didn't realize that.
But you can cook on a grill. I would like that. I'm thinking about
it's
going to your
not that
house and
hard
grilling and having some
hard a
fireworks.
thing to do. When I had the house in Roslyn, there was one year, and I've talked about it on the show, where Patrice came over.
Oh yeah,
And
I think I was there.
He ran the grill. Like I have my usual guys, and Patrice just walked over there and was like, "Yeah, let me take care of it," and cooked burgers and chicken and hot dogs for my entire family, and loved it.
He was
Just loved doing it.
He was a surprisingly good host too.
Yes.
Like when you go to Jersey City, when he'd have, I think that was the year I threw Voss's straw hat, or was either Voss or Keith's straw hat? I threw it into the fire.
Wish his head was in it.
Daddy, my hat blew off. But Patrice was a surprisingly warm host.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
He liked cooking for people, which he doesn't seem like the type who would have been
No.
gracious and loving to feed people, but he loved to cook for people.
When he wasn't being that guy,
Yeah.
Patrice, he was a very sweet guy,
He was,
and we
yeah.
all, thank God, we all got to see that at some point
Sure.
or another. But we also got to see, which was 99% of the time, the just bastard that
Yeah.
he was.
I didn't like him when I first met him at all.
You didn't? No one really does, quite frankly.
No, him and Voss make the two worst impressions I've ever met of anyone.
Yeah, yeah.
Voss always leaves a terrible first impression, which usually at 4 or 5 years in, you get over it.
Yeah, maybe. Bad last impression. We got to take another break, but we'll be right back. I want to talk a little bit more about Patrice, because people like our little relationship we had with him. Be back in a moment. I'm not a fan.
I know you're not.
And I was a huge fan of New York and New York City and everything. And then I think COVID really changed a lot of people's opinions of big cities, and especially, and I don't mean politically, but
Right.
I kind of do. But Democrat-run cities, the way they treated everyone during COVID was just abominable. People play clips now and go, "Hey, don't forget what they did." And you watch these clips of the police coming into a gym and dragging the owner out and cuffing him.
In New
and you're
Jersey,
like,
yeah.
this happened. We forget about that. You think, oh, COVID. Yeah, that was inconvenient. People were dragged out of their places of business.
And COVID is just one more thing. Everybody's just so mad at each other. Everyone is so angry.
Constantly.
And dude, I am guilty. Like, I am so easy to set off that I try to. I was looking at a clip of a guy, just a road rage guy, and I'm like, if I could have shot this guy through the phone, I would have. And I'm like, why do I care? What's wrong
Yeah.
with me? How am I so easily triggered into rage? Everyone's just angry.
That is an interesting take, because I laugh at myself a lot of times when, as other people don't.
Sure.
Thank you. I'll just fill in what you were going to say.
There might as well be one happy person in any room you're in.
It just gets to a point where you're so enraged and looking at something, and then you go, what am I doing?
What am I doing?
Why do I care
Yeah.
about this? And then you try to justify why you care. And sometimes I can. I mean, I don't like certain things that are happening in this country because, and it's like, well, it doesn't affect you. Look out your window. The birds are tweeting,
Yeah.
that old gag.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, it is affecting me. It's affecting my income and, you know, if I want to go to a city like New York and I have to come in here every month and do a job, I don't want to have to keep swinging my head around to make sure someone doesn't clobber me over the head with a brick.
Sure. Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah, of course. So hard to turn around with that pointy hat. But I know what you mean. I do know. At times, sure. There's like a ripple effect. Of course. But I'm like, why am I
bigger holes in the? Yes, we get it.
Yes, we
Okay,
understand.
Thank you.
But I mean, you know me, and I don't want to sound too New Yorkish, but I'm a big Appler through and through.
I know you're a big Bachers fan.
Oh yeah, Bach Nation.
Bach Nation.
People don't like that.
Now, for some reason, most people call them the Knicks.
Yeah.
You know, basketball, but the Bachs.
Yeah.
Because the Knickerbockers,
Sure.
that's their. So do you call the Mets the Tripolitans?
No, the Meteors usually. Or I'll say like Bach Nation, or
Bach Nation.
Bakken.
What kind of response is that getting? People
Really
psyched
positive.
to really are the shirts selling? The Bach Nation shirts.
I should sell them.
Oh boy, that would.
I won $100 because I know so little about basketball that I said, but they're going to beat Boston, and all the guys at the cellar who know basketball, they're like, no, they're not. We took $100 bet, and I won, and I have no idea. I didn't watch the game.
Of course you
care.
did. Like, that's what I read your post, and I'm like, he doesn't watch the game. He
No.
doesn't know anything about the players.
No, I don't care.
Or basketball. Yet, you play because you toss the coin.
That's it.
You hope the box.
Sure. I mean,
Won.
look. I mean, I'm a Bacher fan when they're doing well. Why not? I like to see a happy New Yorker. You know what I mean? Go Box. We all look at each other and we.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope it's been ruining people's day. They hate it.
I've never heard anyone call them
No.
the box.
No,
So
Bachers.
that's the Bachers. That's
Yeah.
a big fan, I guess.
I put the little hyphen before Bacher.
Yes, I saw that. Believe me, you didn't have to point that out. I definitely saw that.
I mean, I just don't care at all. But it's fun to watch a good playoff game. If you're watching a playoff game with people who are into it, it's hard not to get caught up in it.
Yeah.
You know, but I don't care.
I want to touch on, because that's what radio people do.
Sure.
No, I want to talk about your show, what you do. Now you have a podcast, and it's Jim Norton Can't
Save You.
Save You.
Yeah.
And you talk about people's problems. And sometimes they're pretty serious.
It's funny. Like I did the advice show on after the old OA.
Yeah.
I like caller. Like I know people like to call it, but sometimes they take you in a weird direction.
Yeah, true.
Like you're with a comic. Everyone's interviewing comics. Every show is a comic and a comic. And somebody doing that gig. And look, there's only so many things.
Enough.
A caller will at least just take you into a different place that you never would have thought to go.
Yeah.
That's why I like it. And it's alive and it's in the moment. And everyone likes to give advice. Like every comic who's like, as soon as someone would ask a question, they go, wait, you said you're going to, like, everyone gets into it.
When I watch your show, I see the guests that you normally wouldn't think are people that would dispense advice to anybody. No. But you're right. People kind of want to give advice. I don't even know if it's so much you want to help somebody, but you want to seem like you kind of know something.
You're never going to make someone mad going, what do you think?
Right,
Everybody wants to be asked what we think. And I just, it's fun to hang with a comic and talk, and it takes you in again. You talk about your own life, and you know how it is, man. I love doing it. I was going to call it Good Luck Stupid. And the reason I just didn't because.
Why bring Voss into it?
I'm not even there.
Hey, come on, people. Okay.
And I kind of wish I'd called it Good Luck Stupid, but I wanted something with my name in it just because, again, that people have an idea of what it is.
Yeah.
And Mike, the guy who does my producing, said, Mike, you don't come on the podcast and be unfunny like that. So I kind of wanted to, but he goes, it might be a little easier for advertisers like this.
Uh-huh.
Like, you know what I mean? And I'm like, yeah, okay. I mean, the advertisers are the only thing paying me there, so.
Yeah. I heard somebody call in the other day, and what a weird story about having sex with was it the brother-in-law?
Oh, that guy. That was when I was in Austin with Casey Rocket.
Yeah.
The guy sounded like Woody Allen.
Yeah.
His sister-in-law, he goes, they kissed.
Right, they kissed.
And their lips touched during a New Year's Eve kiss.
Whoa,
and,
dangerous.
And he said every day he's been repainting his belly, thinking about that. And I don't blame him. It was so hot.
But this is his brother's wife?
His brother's wife, yeah. And
did he have feelings for her before this magical kiss?
I don't know. I think he thought she was attractive.
And why kiss on the mouth?
They didn't. They kissed like it was like that. Like when I saw you before, like that little weird kiss we do.
But I had to open my fly for that one.
I know, and it's weird because there's no back. This can be a smelly kiss.
We hand out free toothbrushes here at the radio station. What? So that's weird. It wasn't even like
like you go kiss him on the cheek and the lips just. I guess like the lips just touched a little. And apparently she said to him, "Wow, the year's off to a great start." Oh. And that weird little moment, like that's the type of thing. Like, ooh, I know what you're telling me.
How hard is it for? Well, how hard is it? No, how hard is it for a guy to forget that, turn it down, never acknowledge it again, and not play off of it?
Especially if she's someone that you thought was hot before. Oh, like I don't have.
But the disloyalty, it's your brother.
I know
that should transcend any sexual insanity you have. But as a guy, especially at a certain age or where you're just completely out of control, that's a tough thing to do.
Yeah, I don't quite understand it. Like I would be so grossed out by just the idea that someone was having sex. You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't be able to get beyond that. And I'm a pervert, but that would be one that would just make me go like, ugh. But I get it though. I get why the inappropriate. Somebody likes a little inappropriate. You know what I mean?
If you like the inappropriate, that's another kind of fetish. But if you don't like that, but you were kind of turned on by it, what a conundrum that is to have now. Like every time you see her, and you know how it is with guys and girls because girls won't even think about it. You could imagine something in your head that she thought like, oh, I think she liked that. I think when she said like the year's off to a good start, that must mean she got the same vibe I did. Now you're infatuated with her. And she didn't even think twice about it.
I kissed my friend's grandmother, which I know is kind of
right.
And it was like a little peck and our lips touched. And I'd be lying.
Whose lips were thinner and drier? You have a little contest.
I would be lying if I said I wasn't turned on. I was a little turned on.
I like the taste of Geritol.
But I couldn't do anything about it because I'm like, then they close the lid. Old satin pillow head.
Did you really kiss a grandma?
No.
Oh, right.
Not even it was. No.
Very funny.
I was literally
Jimmy.
smiling as you're talking, just thinking about some old bag in a coffin, me giving her a peck, getting a rod and the lid closing.
So wrong.
I know.
I love it.
But yeah, no, I've had inappropriate thing, like little weird back touches when you're taking a photo with someone after a show.
And you think it means something.
And sometimes it does, but it just goes nowhere.
Does.
Yeah.
It never
I know,
does.
but then I'm like, what am I talking about? His wife is here. But yes, sometimes a woman will rub your back and there's a little signal, but you know it can't go anywhere and it doesn't. It's just a moment. Like it's some type of a weird moment that just is and then it expires.
What kind of advice did you give this guy?
I don't remember. I remember the call.
Yeah.
But I don't remember what I'm sure I encouraged him
to go and have sex with his sister-in-law.
Yeah, of course I mentioned Hunter Biden. I mean, how could you not? Among men.
Be like a presidential son.
Absolutely. Do exactly what all of us want. He wanted to for a while. All of a sudden, like, I have a headache. And he's like, all right, I'll wait it out.
Should I go to the doctor? No, here's some Excedrin.
No, not at all.
Don't you worry about it.
Open your cap. One more little button in the back. You'll be fine.
Old pudding brain is going away, and I'll take care of business. It's just so terrible.
It's just awful. Yeah, but I'm weak with that stuff. It's hard not to think about it. Even if you don't act on it, it's still the idea of it. And you're right. Sometimes you imagine it. So you got to be careful. It's not that.
It's a lot of imagination. Like you want it to be true. I think a guy, especially a young guy.
Yeah.
When I was in high school, every single thing a girl did that wasn't calling me a piece of crap.
Right. Which was nothing.
That was like coming on to me.
Yeah.
If a girl talked to you, it was coming on to you. If she put her hand on your arm while she talked to you, you're like, well, this is it.
Yeah.
This is I have her. And the way they think is totally different.
Because you're always looking like, and this is all of us would do this, looking for the signal.
Yeah.
Like the signal where like, oh, she feels the way I do.
Ugh.
And it never comes.
You write a poem, Jimmy, did you?
Well, I wrote one in rehab.
Did ya?
No, but I did. I told you the time I was sitting on the shopping carts. Did I tell you that? I think, and I had the crush on this girl so much. And she's like, I like someone. I'm like, you do? And she's like, yeah.
No, you thought it was you.
She's like, I'm like, really? And she goes, yeah. She goes, it's weird because we're friends. I'm like, I'm sure it's okay. And she goes, and he's got glasses. And I'm like, really? And she's like, yeah. Does John have a girlfriend? She's talking about my buddy John Freno.
Oh, Jim. It's not John. The name's Jim.
And I was like, oh, that's cool. He's a nice guy.
Oh.
Then I went and got a screwdriver and stole Wee magazine out of the machine, which is what I used to do. and went and chafed my young, confused body with my hand. Dude, I would take the screwdriver and go steal Playboy, Penthouse, and Wee. They were in a machine in the local motel.
How would they put those in machines that could be easily lifted?
Well, it was a magazine.
I know. I've seen the machines, but geez,
you put the screwdriver in and just jimmy the magazine. I didn't take the money. I just wanted the magazine. Yeah,
of course. At that age,
Pia Zadora. Ooh.
Oh yeah, the Pia Zadora issue of Wee.
Very hot.
Yeah. It was why are celebrities better to see naked than just regular girls?
Because it's the same thing that OnlyFans probably does now, which is people that you see in, because guys, you always want to see somebody naked, always.
Yeah.
So like the fact
take your clothes off.
You've seen it. I mean, something you haven't seen before. There's no hair on it, which of course you're used to. But there's something about seeing these like people you work with or like women that you want to see them naked. So now on OnlyFans, that's what it's like with celebrities. Like,
yeah,
because it was so taboo.
Like Celebrity Skin became a huge website.
Yeah,
people wanted to see. They'd freeze frame a movie where it was a split second,
half a breast,
half a breast or something like that. Yeah, well, see that outside Sloan Kettering. Jimmy's face is in his hands right now. I'm sorry. You knew that was.
I did, but it was worse than I anticipated. I knew it was coming. I didn't think you'd name the hospital. Wait, there was. I was thinking about Celebrity Skin, the nude. I forget what I was going to say. It was something about Celebrity Skin, seeing somebody naked. I don't remember.
Yeah, that was a big thing. He was on Howard a lot.
Oh, yeah, Mr. Skin.
It was a big thing, Mr. Skin. And it was all about like celebrities. Do they even do that? Are there any women now, actresses that expose themselves to that extent? Maybe a side boob shot, but
now they're much more. I think people don't care about nudity as much. It's there, so you're not going to get in trouble for using. Like, what's her name from Brown Bunny? Chloe Sevigny, who with Vincent Gallo did that. It was that phenomenal scene.
Actual sex.
Yeah. And but that really hurt her career because it was like 15 years ago.
Yeah.
I think William Morris dropped her. But nowadays, if you're doing OnlyFans, unless you're
15 years ago, she's like 30 now.
Oh, so it was 20 years ago.
Kidding, of course. It's a math joke.
I know. It was like if you do something like that now, it wouldn't matter. Like on OnlyFans, unless you're like Taylor Swift or somebody like above all of it, then it's a big deal. But for most people, no one.
But I don't even think they do it anymore. Like the movies now don't have gratuitous nudity in them.
Maybe not.
Yeah, I don't think I see it as much. I think women are a little more, I don't know. They don't want to do it. It seems like they're being used and abused if they have to perform naked.
Intimacy. They're called, I think, an intimacy coach. It's called or something. On the set.
Where could I get that job?
Hold on a minute. Put me on the third baseman's line.
I'll be there. Yeah. Just don't ask if I could, shake your hand while we're watching.
Believe me, I'm still in second.
All right. Back in moments,
maybe
with more of the Anthony Cumia show with Jim Norton this evening.
Netflix, that show. It's about the ship that gets stuck on the two ships. It's called Terror.
Oh, wait a minute. It's like the ship was called Terror.
There's two ships, one called Urbis and one called Terror.
Yeah, and they got stuck in the ice.
By Antarctica. I'm only on episode 9.
Yeah, I watched that one.
Okay, I'm don't tell me the ending, but I'm liking it. The monster looks kind of weird.
Yeah.
The weird. It's not ominous. It's close up. It's good, but from far away, it looks like when they would have like those Christmas puppet shows. Remember, like the Heat Miser, the way the polar bear would walk.
Yeah. The animation. What do they call them?
Not a claymation, but
no. My God!
Thank you.
I'm panicking.
What do they call the ones we how they weren't puppets? What were they?
Looking around the room, no one seems to know. It wasn't animatronics.
No.
It wasn't animation.
Not claymation.
It might have been claymation,
but they weren't clay.
They weren't clay.
They were puppets, I think.
I think it was puppetmation. No, clay. I think it's clay. No. I hate like Rudolph and those Rankin Bass productions.
Stop motion.
Stop motion.
Well,
I never would have got that.
Wasn't very thrilling.
Not
of a
at
name.
all. Not at all.
Stop motion.
Right now, as he's saying, I'm hearing that Price is Right sound when somebody would strike out.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yes.
I wanted to bring up a couple of things that I have sound clips for, Jimmy.
Ooh.
We do sound.
We're
nice. Amazing.
Very good.
It's like the 30s here on radio.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, amplitude modulation is all you'll ever need for your entertainment.
I never knew what AM stood for until you just said that.
Ooh.
And FM is what?
Frequency modulation.
Amplitude and frequency.
Amplitude. One is height and one is width.
Really?
Yes, it's amazing.
So if I want to say 3x4, if somebody asks me, I could say amplitude 3, frequency 4.
There you go.
All right, cool.
All right.
I didn't know what that meant.
Yes, it's quite an amazing thing.
So
Google
amplitude
it.
is height?
Yeah. It's how high the frequencies go. And then frequency is how much space between the frequency.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's
so
quite
which one
amazing.
goes off? AM travels further.
But it, if someone's driving under a bridge right now, they're not hearing this brilliant talk about frequency and amplitude modulation.
They're driving into a bridge. They're going to circle around, go to the top of it, and drive right off.
Hope they're driving into the ocean to not have to hear this.
Yeah, this is banal drivel. Yes.
Someone's out there going, oh, he's right.
I didn't know what it meant either, Jim.
He's right. Yeah. Whoopi, you like Whoopi? Are you still a Whoopi fan? I know we've over the course of the years with the O&A show.
Yes.
When we were at XM, and then we went
K-Rock.
over to K-Rock.
Yeah.
And XM, and then Sirius XM. We've always kind of had maybe a bad relationship with Whoopi Goldberg over at The View.
We would always torment her show because she was doing a morning show. And then one day we're on the air and Eric Logan just walked her into the studio.
Yes.
And I respected her that she came on the show. She was fun on the show, too. We actually got along.
She was the comic Whoopi when she came in. I don't mind the comic Whoopi. The sanctimonious Whoopi. Yeah,
I don't like it either. But I've always kind of liked her. And she did a half hour many years ago, which made her kind of put on the map and made her famous.
Yeah.
She was like a one-person show, and she was great. Like, she's a great actress. And it was like really good stuff when she was younger. It was before The Color Purple. So I like her for that.
She was hungry back then.
Yes.
She don't look very hungry now.
She does not, and I will acknowledge that's a fat joke and say you are correct. She's been wearing a shower curtain for the last 15 years. She's a big lady, Ed.
Yes. big woman.
Yeah, I don't like the sanctimonious either.
Yeah.
But I don't hate her. She's fun, I guess. Who cares?
But she gets on there, and I think there's too much control over what she can and can't say and how she has to say it. And I think she's actually been, programmed to be this network puppet,
maybe
for the left and the media, and and look, we're already running out of time for this break, but let's play Whoopi. She's talking about how this Jake Tapper book came out about Joe Biden and his dementia, his obvious dementia.
Sure.
And Whoopi just goes right over and says exactly what we know wasn't true.
I know.
They knew this.
They did.
So let's listen to Whoopi talk about the Biden Alzheimer's, pretty much.
The trust issue.
There has always been a mass trust issue because politicians, media, nobody does what they're supposed to do. Now, I say, for me, listen, he's 83, so he's a little stumbly, he's a little rumbly. I can't point to anything that he's done that he did.
No, that he's running for his next 4 years.
But I'm saying, I want, not you, but I want somebody to tell me, well, when did you know it was bad? If you knew, why did you wait?
Yeah. So can I get in? He said that it was after he moderated the debate.
Yes, but that's not, I'm sorry.
You
that's
can cut it
what
off
I'm
right there,
about.
because the fact that Whoopi didn't know, and she's like, well, when did you know, and why didn't anyone tell us? Everyone was telling you from 2015, like from 2019, whenever he would try to run for office, we were like, he seems a little off.
I think the 47th time I heard the corn pop story, I realized this man is
clue?
This guy is a mashed potato brained boob. He's finished.
They all now, because Jake Tapper put this book out that says everyone knew in the White House and the media knew. They said the media didn't know because we weren't told.
They knew.
We were telling you. Every guest that went on their show was telling you, and you called them conspiracy theorists and said, well, you're a doctor? You now know you can diagnose the president from what you're seeing? So we all knew. We all said something. The people that didn't tell you were the ones lying to you.
It's funny how, we always feel like we say things that has no impact, right? No one here.
Right.
But the complaints about the media and the continuous pointing out, I was watching a clip today.
It's blatantly obvious. Jimmy, we will come right back to this. I have to cut you off.
Let's take a break.
We'll be right filling in with Curtis Sliwa for the great Sid Rosenberg, who does the morning show here, Sid and Friends. And he gets off for Monday, Memorial Day. Me, I am low on the totem pole.
That's right.
Here. So I have to perform. I have to go, yes, sir, I will show up.
Filling in.
It's filling in.
Sure.
It's like that, you don't want to be the guy, new guy, and it's like, no.
Yeah, of course.
I can't do that.
You got to can do.
You're a can-do guy. I'm stepping up. I'm a corporate company man.
Sure. A shill, a corporate shill.
I can't wait till the first year is over. And I'm just clobbering ass. And they go, what can we do for you, Anthony? And I go, I will never, ever again do a holiday. But right now, I'm all for it.
Right now, you do it. Look, I don't even. Tomorrow, I normally get up and go to the gym. But I'm not even doing that tomorrow.
Jim, does your wife get jealous? G, not J. All right. Anywho.
And I just, it's not,
you go to the gym, eating better.
I'm going to the gym, and I'm going to get strangled by a man. But yeah, I'm not doing that tomorrow. It'll be a nice, easy
Take a day off.
Take a day of leisure.
Yeah.
No barbecues to go to.
But do you have plans?
No.
Are you going to do anything?
No, I'm not.
Go to the west side of Manhattan. Look at the battleships and the carriers. What am I, 7?
Go look at the big boats.
Go look at the big boats.
I want to go to a barbecue and be invited to a place.
Look at them back into the Brooklyn Bridge and go, ay caramba.
I mean, what are you thinking when you're on the top and you see the boat? Boat's not stopping. Boat's not stopping.
You just got to stand there.
The boat's not stopping. They said the power went out, like the one that hit in Baltimore. The power just shut off and they couldn't stop it.
They couldn't do anything. There's a current in that river. It is a river, and it was going the other way.
No, it's not stopping. Horrifying.
It has got to be horrifying.
Yeah.
But people forgot about it pretty quickly because
there was 2
people
deaths,
are
which
racist.
just sucks, but it's not it's not like, what's that?
Because people are racist here in this country.
Oh, absolutely.
They see a Mexican flag on a ship that hits the bridge and people are killed, and they just go, well, what day is it? 2 days later, meh. You know, we'd feel much worse if it was Americans. It's terrible, but that's kind of the way it is.
It is the truth. We always want to know how many Americans.
Don't we always do that? Like, how many Americans were killed? And the media does it, too. They're like, 3 Americans were part of that plane.
I bet every country does it, though.
Yeah.
Like, they just think of their own countrymen.
But we think of it, I think, even more.
We should.
Because we really don't care when anything happens to people.
No.
Anywhere.
No.
And don't we care more if something isn't that far away? Like, we care, like, let's say something happened in the Bahamas. Wouldn't we care a little more than if it happened half a world away?
It would depend on what it was.
You think?
Sure. I mean, if it was, or Aruba.
Like Greece. We wouldn't care if something happened in Greece.
I mean, they're kind of going broke anyway, aren't they?
All the EU is going broke except for like France and Germany.
I want to go to Greece. I do. I want to go there once.
That makes perfect sense. The Jim Norton with authentic Greek features.
Just want to look at the statues. Sorry, not allowed to do that while you look at the statues.
A lot bigger than mine. They're tiny.
They sure are. No hands, no arms. They can't even enjoy them. They can't even hide them. Stand there being mocked. Pathetic.
Would you go to a country for art? Would you you're going overseas with Florentine, right?
Yes, to see Sabbath. It's July 5th in Birmingham. So we're doing a gig in London and a gig in Manchester and a gig in Birmingham just to pay for the airfare and the hotels. Like, I just don't want to lose money.
Right. But you want to see
Sabbath's final show. Yeah,
it's their final show.
Yeah, the last time that all 4 of the original members will be on together.
So you got to go.
Of course. I don't even care if it's good. Like, whatever they can do, they'll do. All I care about is being there.
I just want to be there.
And see them and, maybe say hello. That's it.
Yeah. Do you think you get a chance to say hi?
I hope so.
I bet you
I mean, I might. I don't know if they're doing pictures, but I would love.
You'll worm your way.
I will. I'll slither under the door like an odor. Like cyanide. Just slither under the door. Hi, guys. Me again. But I do want to see them one more time.
That is very, very cool.
I've never done it before, like traveled like that for a show. When I was a kid, Rush was on tour in like 1982. And I went and bought a ticket for $35, which was all the money in the world back then.
Yeah, it was a
but
lot
I knew
of
I
money
wouldn't
back
come
in
to
the
New York
day.
and see it. I knew I wasn't going to, because I had no one to go with.
Really?
Yeah, so I might have bought 2 tickets or 1 ticket, and I just wound up eating it or giving it to someone.
You're performing though.
Mm-hmm.
Like, who books your gigs over there? Because isn't that
somebody who's regretting that? I'm sure. Wow, gonna take a beating on it. Not somebody who's going to keep their job for long.
Is it scary? Like overseas? You've played overseas.
I've done England. I've done Europe. Once. It was fine.
How are you received?
I mean, like the same is here, kind of, with surprisingly contempt and a surprisingly international indifference. I mean,
like when do you have to like crap on America? Is that like a thing they go for? Or like you saw recently, Bruce was over there, Springsteen,
yes.
and then he like, hey, well, America's a terrible place now, the president. And I don't know. I kind of don't, maybe it's just me.
I mean, Springsteen, I don't mind as much because he's very good friends with Obama, and he has been this guy for years. Like, it's not like he just became this guy. If a guy has been pretty consistently one way, I'm more tolerant of it than somebody who just all of a sudden shows up.
When was he? I guess he did rag on Reagan when Reagan was trying to use Ain't That America?
Born in the
USA. Like all these America songs that Reagan tried to use, he didn't realize they were anti-American songs because he wanted to use Pink Houses. Also, Ain't That America? John Cougar.
Isn't that pro-America or no?
No, it's not.
Okay.
Apparently, every America song is like screw America.
John Cougar Mellencamp.
Oh, enough of him.
Yes.
Oh, is he a relative?
Yeah, he's a distant cousin. Yeah,
cousin or something. Yeah. Every America song, you're like, oh, that sounds good. Like I would have thought "Born in the USA" was a pro-America song.
I would have too.
And Pink Houses, ain't that America for you and me? Little Pink Houses for you and me. And it turns out they're all like screw America songs.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, they just sound good. Like,
how about "Coming to America" by Neil Diamond? Traveling far.
I don't like that one. They coming to America. Get the border patrol to send them back when they come into America.
The murderous citizen and be freed. They're ruining America.
They're raping, robbing, and killing when they come to America. Donald Trump is shipping them back.
Well, at a very impressive rate.
Yeah, well, not impressive enough for some.
I know.
Sitting right here.
I mean, it is crazy. It's like I was born here. Get out. You going?
Bye, home to mommy. Yeah. Oh, it's like, I guess the big thing is they say due process. People need due process. But I think the due process of being illegally here is that you get deported. That's the process that you are due. You came here illegally. You don't have to go through a jury trial and be found, guilty of coming here. It's not a thing that due process dictates you need a trial for. You're here.
Not a trial, but don't you have to get, they have to make sure that you're, whatever it is you're seeking is not legit.
But they could throw you out in the interim, while they're looking up, hey, do you have a valid reason to claim sanctuary here in America? Let's look. Oh, by the way, while we're looking, get out. Get out. Get out. Mexicans coming in here, Alice.
Whatever it is, I just want them to do it by the book, only because having dealt with immigration, they make everyone do it by the book. So I'm for get anyone illegal out. Fine. I'm fine with it.
But I think that's what they have to do. And I just also can't understand why people are pushing so hard for a guy that, look, I don't care about semantics or we don't know what's a gang member.
I think
the guy's got apocalypto tattoos.
Yeah.
And they're just like, no, he needs to come back. It's such just being a contrarian to Donald Trump. Donald Trump wants this. Let's not want it. 100%.
I want him to come back and then be shipped out again, because don't give them the ammunition.
Want to give him miles? You want to give him airline miles? Is that what it is?
And I don't think he's a Maryland dad. I agree. I think he's a gang
Maryland
member.
Dad. He's just a regular guy.
In order to keep the integrity of what you're doing, I think you got it's annoying.
Yeah.
But you know what? If you made a mistake, bring him back, fix it. Yeah, it's a waste. But then all of a sudden, that's done. He's out. I just think it should be like that.
But then it sets a precedent where they do it for every single person they deported. Because, it's the give 'em an inch, they take a mile, these liberal Democrats. So you let them do that.
It's give an inch, and I claimed I had 8.
Give 'em an inch, it still hurts. They they would do it for every single case.
Yeah,
you can't set a precedent. Just, you're illegal here, get out.
I don't have any, because we had to do it legally, so I don't have any desire to keep people who are illegal here. We had to deal with it for 5 years.
Anyone that's had to go through the nonsense.
Yeah.
Or, whatever it is. Maybe not nonsense. Maybe it's the real way it should happen. And then you see people come in here illegally, and then you see them get unbelievable benefits.
That's crazy.
And stuff. It's just not a fair way of doing it. And I'm not it's not fair. It's just, it has to be fair. That's supposedly the way we do things here.
It does suck. Yeah. When I see money going to people, of course, I hate seeing that.
Your money.
Yeah. My
hard-earned.
But I don't like it. having dealt with immigration though, like a lot, and I mean for years.
Yeah,
it's antiquated the way they do it. Like it should be a 24-hour system. Like
right.
It's bankers' hours. They still use the stupid U.S. Postal. So what are you doing? Like there's so many ways to make it faster. It should not be the nightmare experience, the bureaucratic sludge
Isn't
that it
that
is.
something that it takes years? Like I think that's a tactic to get people to not want to do it. Maybe
you feel like it's never going to end. But you have to do it right. Like my lawyer was like literally everything has to be right, and he said it has to stand up to scrutiny. And like I had a great lawyer. I was very lucky, but like
Jewish.
I don't know. I asked.
No,
I demanded he tell me, and he just wouldn't. He showed me his. I'll say that I forgot where I was, but I caught myself.
Close.
It's just a pain in the ass. They should do 24 hours. I think the court system should be 24 hours. Like more people are employed, more judges, more court people.
Yeah, there's really no reason that things take years.
You should be able to do it at night
to get done
if you're willing to. Like, are you willing to come at 2 a.m. if we had? Yes, I am. No, I'm not. Speed it up.
There are people running typewriters, like old school typewriters, to do paperwork for things like immigration and in the judicial system. And why is that? With all the money that is being thrown around that we've seen, I think because of things like Trump and Elon and Doge, we just see the corruption and waste going on. Why isn't our system up to date where there's still people clickety-clacking away on typewriters for things that are pretty important and should be expedited?
Because they don't care. It's not, they're working for the government. They don't care. It doesn't personally mean anything to them.
Right.
It has no effect on their life. So what do they care for? Like, I typically don't care about things that have no effect on me.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm like, so what? Big deal. Big whoop. That's what it is.
We'll be back in a matter of moments with Jim Norton on the Anthony Cumia Show. And Mr. Jim Norton, a call here at the station, 800-848-9222. That would be 800-848-9222. Ponderous. Yes, give us a call and we'll chit-chat with you. That's how we roll, yo. Jimmy, obviously, his little hummingbird bladder needed a little relief. He's got a bladder like a tiny little hummingbird. I think the waste comes out all at once, like a little bird. What do you got there, Jim?
Wow.
A little snickety snack? Some pretzels?
That I'm being very naughty in the snack room. Fat pig oinker got himself another small bag of pretzels, and then back to the old diet tomorrow. It's Memorial Day weekend.
You can cheat. It's a cheat weekend.
I'm going to right after we leave here. I'm gonna go catch monkeypox
again.
Yeah, maybe people could call in and we could chat with them.
Yeah, when you drive around in New York City, you don't see what you used to, like because there were a lot of prostitutes in New York City, especially on the West Side Highway by the Javits Center was like a lot. How did that? Because you look at Mayor Adams and de Blasio before him, they really weren't putting the noose on a lot of the crime that was going on in the city. And I know Giuliani really put a stop to all that. Why hasn't that really come back like it was? The
internet, there's no need for it. Like,
wow.
Years ago, I was riding around and I would cruise for hours and look. And I remember one time I would see hookers in cars and they'd pull up next to you and proposition you from the cars so cops couldn't nail them. So that was 20 years ago. And then it started to, once the internet is what it is, it's easier for them, it's safer for them than standing on a corner to just do ads. Everyone looks on their phone now or they look online. Like, why would you ride around for hours where you can just look for someone on an ad? I think that's my theory.
Didn't even think about that.
The internet,
like everything else.
Sure.
You just go online, instantly connected to somebody that wants to, make a deal, and they don't have to stand out on the streets.
Because that's more dangerous for them to getting arrested and also just getting beaten up or assaulted. Like, at least online.
Well, whatever you did was...
What I did was very quick and didn't hurt at all. I think I was a perfect trip. Perfect trick. Just flick my nipples and just look at. I mean, I was so easy. I was so easy.
Oh, just an easy few bucks. They saw you coming. An easy few bucks.
I'm a relationship guy.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, as I'm driving them back, so you don't need to do this.
Oh, no. You were saving them?
Oh, I remember one time I was going to a sober dance. I was probably 19. And I was driving this girl. I used to love talking to them after we'd have sex. So I was driving this one girl back. It was a white hooker I picked up in New Jersey. And I'll never forget, she goes, "Why are you doing
like
this?"
Like a unicorn.
Well, no, not quite that good. Hopefully. But years later, I discovered that.
Put your head down, fella.
Why you horn squatting me? So I was driving back. She goes, "You don't need to be doing this. Why are you doing this? You're a good-looking guy." Like,
oh, she was telling you this.
Yeah, she was telling me this. Like,
oh,
but I always enjoyed chatting afterwards. That was always fun.
Yeah, a little chit chat.
See
with
if I
the
could.
Girl.
Yeah, just a
and
little.
Did they
connection.
just want to like get out and get to the next guy?
I mean, it was easy. Again, I'm not like, I was never into like being a complete like menace.
Yeah.
So I think that I was like an easy one compared to what else might have been out there in that neighborhood.
Did you try to bargain? Or were you like, whatever the price was, I'm paying?
No, I very rarely would bargain, not in person.
You ever get robbed?
No, but my one boss did. I had a very fat boss, and I worked for a company.
When did you work for E-Rock?
He's not even here, the poor
He's not
kid.
even here, the poor little whale.
It's just, and never ends.
Never.
I would, this one, I'll tell you, her name was Pam, was her first name. And she was a short-haired gal, very attractive. She looked like the boat captain from Apocalypse Now. And she was not the best looking, but very skilled. So one time she came around where I was working, and my boss at the time wanted to, and he was an older fat guy. And I'm like, just take your wallet out and put it in your front, and put it in your desk.
Oh.
Don't have it in your pocket because they go through your pocket.
Yeah.
The best of them do it. And I came back to work on Monday. "Jim, she took my money." I go, "What happened?" Because she took my wallet. And I'm like, "Was it in your pants?" He goes, "Yeah." I'm like, "You got it."
Did he have a spear in his chest?
Dart.
Oh, wait, the girl looked like him. Okay.
Yeah.
I got confused.
Yeah, no. She didn't. Yeah. Yes. I'm gonna take your wallet on the Nung River, Captain. And but yeah, she took his wallet, and I'm like, I told you, like,
man.
so did I ever get robbed? I might have. I don't think so. No, but I'm very paranoid and careful.
Yeah.
Like I was really.
Did you ever have to deal with a pimp or anything? Like a guy intermediary that was threatening?
Sometimes, but never anything threatening, no. But again, I have a pretty good instinct, and I would ride around like I would make sure the coast was clear, and I would talk to them a little bit. I was very meticulous. Like even in the midst of crazy addiction, I wasn't so reckless that I was like, anybody in? Like I was paranoid, always paranoid. So no, never. And if something felt weird, the energy felt aggressive.
Yeah.
I told you one time I went into this building on 2nd Avenue, and it was supposed to be like this massage, and it was a railroad apartment. And I walked in, it was like $300. I handed her the money, and then she went to the door and like handed it to someone outside the door. And then I sat with her, and it was a blackened out railroad apartment. There was like fruit flies in the bathtub with like Burger King wrappers. It looked almost abandoned. And we sat on the couch, and she was holding a screwdriver.
Whoa!
And I got the feeling that someone else was in the room with us, like that there was someone, because the lights were out, and I'm like, someone else is. It was a crazy animal instinct, and I just left.
Wow!
I told her, yeah, I'm not feeling. I let her keep the money. I'm like, something bad is going to happen.
You let her keep the money. You ran for your life.
I just had a bad. It came over me like all my instincts were like, get out of here right now. This is
guy in a bear mask.
I just
giving favors to a man on a bed.
Yeah. Danny. But that was many years ago. I went and saw Colin that night at wherever he was. That was probably 20 years ago. But I just remembered something bad's going to happen. Get out of here.
Oh.
I'm sure she thought of that when I walked in.
Be right back. Yeah. And it came off very confrontational because that was what
he
doing
did
at the time and everything. And we were the shock jocks. So pretty interesting. I'll be filling in for Mr. O'Reilly this Monday through Friday this week from 9 to 10 p.m.
It's a nice time slot.
Yeah. I'm in.
6 to 9 East Coast? Or 6 to 7?
No, East Coast, it's 9. It's 9 to 10. And
I meant West Coast.
West Coast is 3 hours earlier.
Yeah, so it would be 6 to 7.
That works.
I was wrong on not only should I have shut up, but I will in the future. No time zone, no an idiot.
Let's talk to Sandra in New Jersey. Sandra, how are you, dear?
Good evening.
Well, first of all, listening to you both tonight, I felt like I was eavesdropping on a phone call that I wasn't supposed to be listening to. Ooh. Listening to you two is like kind of funny.
Thank you.
Kind of. Well, that's good.
Thank you.
It was funny, but I felt like I didn't belong. I don't know. I felt left out, but I listened and I enjoyed you very, very. You said a lot of good stuff. You know, I wanted to say, Anthony, I was on X about a week or two ago.
On X?
For the first time.
Ecstasy, yes, she does ecstasy at 60, whatever years old. No, X, Twitter. Social media.
Right, Twitter, okay.
Yeah, sorry.
Right. So I saw you on there for the first time. I was pleasantly surprised to see what you look like.
Oh, and thank you.
Wow.
And also,
wrong Anthony.
What you were talking about.
Got to get those cataracts fixed.
Yeah, exactly. Pleasantly surprised.
So you were talking about people on planes. You said tonight you don't like kids. You also said that day on Twitter you don't like heavy people.
Fat.
Are you insulted, Sandra?
Oh, no. Are you a fat 6-year-old?
No. Are you kidding? I'm 108 pounds. I'm in good shape.
But you're 1 foot tall.
No, I'm 5'2".
Oh, okay.
You guys are so mean.
Yes,
he's mean.
So
I didn't.
We're retired shock jocks, Sandra.
Apologize.
That I don't know
we used to be shock jocks.
We apologize. What were you saying,
Yeah.
dear? 108 pounds.
I'm
Yes.
just saying, I'm glad I don't know you because if you said something about me, wow, I don't think I could handle it. But that's okay.
Okay.
You guys are you're a little bit on the mean side. Do you like?
We tend to be. We're just rekindling our old meanness from the last century.
Yeah, we apologize.
Okay.
You're a spinner.
No, I don't care.
You're a wonderful girl, Sandra.
Yeah.
You call me every week, and I appreciate
She's
it.
a spinner.
No.
Yeah.
Spinner, her teeth fly out at the fish tank.
So what do you think about what you said about heavy people on planes? That's why I called.
Yeah, I believe that like you have to pay extra for your baggage if it's over
That's
50
right.
pounds, that heavy people should have to pay extra or buy 2 seats. I was shoved in between 2 very rotund men in coach class flying from Atlanta to Greenville. Thank God it was a short flight, but they're underarm fat and their rolls were piling into me. It was wet and fat and sweaty and hot. And
I know.
Yeah.
They should be kicked out like
understand.
Operation Dumbo Drop. Get those oinkers off the plane.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Why?
Why can they charge you like I weigh myself and then I'll put 50 pounds on for luggage, right? Why then, if that is lower than a fat person with carry-on, why the hell do I have to pay?
I know. I understand what you're saying. I'm not saying
Exactly.
you're wrong.
Of course.
I have a question for Anthony, dear.
What?
Now, I remember that your flight got delayed or something, right?
Yes, it was terrible, tragic.
Why wouldn't you just drive? What was that, a 3-hour drive? Why would you rent a car and drive?
It was.
How tiny was the plane you were on?
It wasn't. It was. I think it was a 737, actually, from Atlanta to Greenville.
Really?
By the time they got up, they were already coming down.
Yeah. Why didn't you just drive 3 hours?
No, I'm not going to drive. It's 2025. What am I going? Why didn't you take a Conestoga wagon, Anthony?
But it's
there are horses in Atlanta. You could clippity clop your way to Greenville.
I drive so much more when I can because the flying at the airport. It's just, but you don't mind the bumps. You don't care.
I don't care if I can get somewhere, even if, because I had to wait a day. I had to spend an evening in Atlanta, which for me wasn't very nice.
I mean, absolutely. Now, trust me, they weren't happy you were there.
No, of course not. But I would rather wait and fly than drive that time. I hate driving long distances. Short distances in a nice sports car, I love it. Get me in there. The second it's over an hour and a half, going into 2 hours, I'm done. I hate it.
So I just drove to D.C. last week. I'm doing Ridgefield and Kingston, New York next week. One's an hour, one's like 2 hours. Like to Boston, I drive. Like, you'll fly to Boston?
Oh, hell yeah. From New York, you mean?
Yeah.
Because obviously South Carolina, I would fly.
Yeah, I would drive to South Carolina.
I had a gig in Florida at the Black Box in Boca. And I flew there.
How long would the drive have been?
A drive probably would have been maybe 5 hours, I guess.
You're crazy.
Something
I would
like
drive
that.
in a second.
I get on that plane. I'm there. I'm at the hotel by the pool. By the time you'd still be putting it in drive.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah. Hey, Sandra.
I'm saying goodbye to you. Yes. What were you going to say?
Anything else, dear?
No, I was about to say I'm going to say goodbye to you guys.
Thank you.
Love to talk to each other. I enjoy listening to you. You're very funny.
Me and Jimmy are dear friends.
Yeah.
We did a radio show back for many years, and we've kept in touch as dear friends, and we're just having a little conversation. A little different this Sunday, Sandra.
We actually used to do radio. And it was so crazy. We both got called to this house and went in for the same slice of pizza.
Wow. Can I say
then
something?
we reconnected on Grindr.
Wow.
Yes, Sandra, you can say something, of course.
Well, today for my holiday, I got together with a friend that I know from many, many years ago. So it was really nice to see someone that I knew a while ago and just see each other and remember things, and just like you guys are doing.
Yes, you should. That's
but not like you guys.
You should submit that to worststoriesever.com.
What can I tell you? I can't figure you out.
No, don't even try, Sandra. Thank you, dear, though. Thank you for the call.
Teasing.
We do
You're a good egg.
it. She's a good egg. Holy crap. Worst story.
Oh my God.
Oh, she thought that was going to be a good capper for the good nightcap for the evening.
Well, we're all rekindling. All right. Godspeed.
Anyone else? I don't want to take any political call. We could clear the phones. And if you have anything else for me and Jimmy Norton, 800-848-9222. Speaking of planes, though, Jimmy, you had to have seen this. You're a man. You know what's going on in the news.
Yeah.
The stand-up seats in airplanes.
They talk about that. I think it was Ryanair in Ireland. They were talking about doing that.
Yeah.
Where they have them, and
these are different than there were ones that were stacked up almost. Where
that's different. Yeah.
Your face is right where the ass of the person sitting above you is.
But I don't think that their ass is in your face. I think it's almost like
it's a new one.
Right.
Where they're very close together, and it doesn't have a seat for you to sit in. It's kind of this angled thing with a bump where your groin goes.
Yeah, you're kind of standing.
So you don't slide off of it, and you're standing. It looks like the most uncomfortable thing you could possibly
I would try it once, though. It's probably, I'm going to guess, for like 2.5 hour flights or less. I'm going to guess it's for shorter flights.
Insanity. I wouldn't do this for 15 minutes.
And the one I was talking about, the ass, I think that the guy's ass is not in your face. Like, I think there's the plastic. The seat moves in the. Like, I don't think you're actually seeing.
Really?
I think so. Yeah.
Because the seat is there. The picture I saw, they put a pretty girl in the top seat.
Oh.
So you're sitting there and going, yeah, I wouldn't mind a little waft.
Yeah. Normally I have to put my head in the box for this view.
A little waft would be nice.
Yeah, maybe she has a Mexican food, a little.
Like if it's you or Florentine sitting up there,
you're in deep trouble.
There's going to be a problem. So I don't know. I wax fantastic, as they say, about the good old days of real first class. Like you get a first class flight now if it's 2 hours or less.
I know.
It's not first class. They should just call it kind of a bigger seat. And that's really the only thing you're getting.
They do business now internationally. It's like a lot of the 3-class services are no good. They just have business and coach. Like
they take low class.
Call me when you have no class.
No class. All right.
Yeah, but I'm flying business to England. I won't fly coach to England, but I'm using miles, and it's costing me all of my United miles.
Oh,
like 500,000 miles to go round trip business.
That and what airline is that?
I'm doing United out of Newark, which I mean, you're literally.
Oh, boy,
I couldn't be. I couldn't be stupider.
They really have screwed the pooch on their air traffic control over there.
They've always been terrible. I've been flying down Newark for 30 years. They suck. They've always sucked, and they've just gotten exponentially worse.
They don't have money to do what they need to do, and infrastructure. Like, you could have the money, but if you don't have the person that's going to put the reverberation in place, they're using systems that are so old.
Yeah.
They're so old.
How old are they?
They have moths flying out of there. Boop.
I was, one time I said, we're going to land. And they said, is this Amelia Earhart? Ed.
70-year-olds are rolling.
They are just
laughing.
They're barely remembering what we're talking about.
So going to England, though, you cannot fly coach for a flight that long, especially 2025 coach.
No, I mean, and hopefully I'll be able just to relax a little bit. And I'm also, because it's such a fun thing to do, since I left Sirius XM and I parted ways.
Yes.
I've been a little more cautious with money, doing a lot more road work.
Gotcha.
Just, a little bit more, making sure I'm not stupid.
You don't want to be stupid.
So, I'll use miles. I'm not going to just spring for a seat.
The flight over there, though, coach would be a nightmare, especially these days. I look at some of these old films where they're like, here they are on the Pan Am Clipper.
Yeah.
Going to Europe. And they're rolling a giant roast beef down the aisle with a chef with the big chef hat on and a carving knife, a giant machete.
Yeah.
And this is for coach. This is for coach.
Well, but back then, though, here's the disadvantage.
Yeah.
Corn pop.
Because I cursed.
You were saying about flying in the old days and the good roast beef.
The good old roast beef. Oh, it's never coming back.
Hat.
It's never coming back. Let's talk to Rose.
Oh my God.
Rose in Florida. Hi, Rose.
Hey, Rose.
Are you serious? I love you so much.
Ooh.
Well,
thank you, Rose.
Wow.
Can I tell you something? You guys are hot.
Wow.
You guys are hot. Yes, I was. I love you guys so much. Can I tell you something?
Yes.
Can I tell you something?
Yes.
I do theater down here. I've done the Golden Girls, but I was not one of the Golden Girls. I was a tramp.
You're
Okay?
the copper girls. The tin girls.
Oh, I'm a hot chick down there.
Yeah, you're hot down there in the villages.
Yes.
Are you the hottest chick in the villages?
Yes. Well, the Golden Girls meant something different. It was a S&M
Well, no,
club.
I played the tramp at the Savannah, so that's
Charlie
what I did.
Chaplin
But
type?
No, hell no. Hell no. I look hot.
Language.
I have good legs and good body. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Oh, that's
Nice.
wonderful.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. What?
So
So
anyway, I got to.
what was your latest production that you were in?
Yeah.
The Golden Girls, and I played a tramp.
In the Golden Girls?
Yeah.
No, they're too old. They're
Oh
too
wow,
old.
you were too hot
Oh.
to play a Golden Girl.
Excuse me? I am too hot.
Rose, may I ask you, and I know it's usually a question men don't ask
No, just
women,
straight out ask me.
how old a gal
Are you ready for this, babe?
I'm ready.
And you are sexy.
Ooh.
I'm 75 years old.
Wow. How are you too young to be a Golden Girl? They were all like 40 back then.
Yeah. Can I tell you what?
All
I had
right.
a lot of nice lifts. Okay.
Oh.
You've had some work done. Okay.
You had a little work.
scaffolding around her.
Hey, listen. Scaffolding is wonderful.
A few lifts.
That your program is so real, and we enjoyed so much.
Thank you,
And-
Rose.
And you're the truth. And
We
you're
try.
so beautiful.
Oh,
No,
see,
you don't try. Oh, wait. I did teach at NYU one time.
I'd like you to grab my ankles and lift my legs and right after you change me. My head hurts.
He used to take calls from girls we used to take home.
Yeah.
She
Now
said,
it's to the home.
She said she was 74, and Jimmy goes, she should have called 60 years ago. Oh my God, I'm dying. Oh, is that funny? Ryan from the great Garden State of New Jersey. What's up, Ryan?
Hey, listen, I just absolutely love hearing you guys together. I've been listening to you for forever, and it thrills me to hear you guys back on the radio together. So that's all I wanted to say.
Thank you. Thank you, Ryan, man. We appreciate it. Definitely.
Yeah.
Thanks, man. I guess that's, and look, God bless
anyone listening.
The women. It's AM, New York AM radio. That's our demo. I'm, in my 60s. This is how it works. Yeah. But you do think back, and you kind of got to equate it to, because I saw like Guns N' Roses and a few of these other bands where the clientele, they still they try to dress the same.
Yeah.
But they are way older than the girls that used to listen to and go to the concerts and stuff. So it's just the nature of the beast.
It's the nature of the beast.
Sometimes the beast calls. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. We love you. Thank everybody that called this evening. We adore you.
Yeah. I wish if I did a Jack Parr impression, I would probably get laid after this show. Oh, my God.
Yes, the Anthony Cumia Show on the Dumont Network.
Oh, boy.
Sponsored by Geritol. And, it happened,
Hey.
We all get a little older here.
Sure.
This is what happens. I saw a clip, I guess Metallica was playing, and at some point when the band is doing something, James comes down off stage. Yep. He sits in a chair and gets the wax off of his earbuds and puts them back in and blows his nose and lights a cigar and takes a sip of a beverage and just sits there. And it's like, yeah. And a lot of people say that in the comments, it was like, I bet he just wants to be home at this point. Do you think a band like Metallica, and you're talking stadiums packed with more people than I don't think any other band could outdraw, any other rock band could outdraw Metallica.
Maybe the Stones.
And at this point. But do you think you get tired of that?
He does it before the show, too, as he's waiting for the music.
Yes.
I think he's just taking a break during a drum solo. And
I'm not necessarily saying what he did there indicates that he's tired of it. Like, that's great. If you could step off stage, take a breather, take a cigar and drink, that's great. But, just the time how many times do you do it to where you just go, I kind of want to just be home?
You know how much fun? I maybe, but when you're still doing stadiums, when you're still that relevant,
good point.
It feels probably like it did 30 years ago. Like, we still packed that with pretty young people in their 30s.
Yeah, no,
20,
Metallica pulls a young crowd, too.
Like, when you still see that, it probably makes you feel like, wow,
Rose
man.
isn't at a Metallica show.
No, no, she's not. I'm going to see Illumin Foilica. A boo.
A boo.
But it's probably easier than a band, like when you look at a Smokey Robinson or Frankie Valli, who aren't moving well.
Frankie Valli isn't even singing.
But he sounds just like the record.
Oof, boy. I saw Frankie Valli at the Westbury Music Fair years ago, and he was lip-syncing then.
Yeah.
You were lip-syncing then,
and you
did nothing.
But now he's just kind of, it's not even matching
up.
He
looks catatonic.
Yeah.
And again, I can't like Joe Biden with Jill Biden. I think there's people shoving them out there that just make them work because they could still make some money. It's oof.
They might like
sad.
Working too, just because, hey, what else are you going to do if you're not working? You're dead.
I don't think he's at any position to even think
Maybe
if
not,
he
yeah.
wants to or not. But like you were saying with Metallica, yeah, you're packing stadiums.
It's alive.
Still,
It's crazy,
arenas
yeah.
like that. Yeah, I could see that.
You still feel like you're creating and you're moving forward and like you're on the mountaintop and you've stayed there for 30 years.
Right, right.
Like you did a new record recently. Like they're still doing music. People love them. Like
maybe you just want to go home.
You might, but they probably take a break.
I don't know.
Hetfield looks like he's really enjoying himself.
He does. He's the definitive rock guy.
Yeah.
It's amazing, and he has been forever. We're gonna take off for the evening.
Yes, we are.
I'll be back here tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. with Curtis Lewa.
Wow.
To do the show, Sid and Friends show. Jimmy, thank you so much.
Oh, of course, I love this.
Coming on.
Anytime.
I adore you. You
Me
know
too,
that. And we actually, I would, any plugs real quick? You got 10 seconds.
I got Ridgefield next Friday, Kingston the week after, Utah the week after that.
We will see you tomorrow and next week, next Sunday for the Anthony Cumia Show.